BMFcast267 Countdown Show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blah.
22 hours.
We're staying up all night until the next day. Talking Furious 7. and all
21
the
hours and 36 minutes until
other Furious things.
Furious.
Like baboons.
I don't understand why they're so fast and so furious.
Now, I'm going to have to stop you right there. Shut the fuck up.
You can't swear. Why would you swear?
We got this on
You
a
know
time
what
delay, right? Only got a couple FCC strikes this year.
Yeah, we can't time delay anymore. We had to spring forward. I don't even know what that means.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Let's take a moment of silence for Bob Zader, star of Pumpkinhead.
Oh, no, before we do that, we have to do a commercial for our newest sponsor, Radio Shack. And Tiger Direct. Need a computer? Tiger Direct.
Whenever I need parts, you know where I go? Radio Shack,
Hey.
Tiger Direct.
Hey.
I go directly to Tiger Direct.
If you need obscure radio parts, you just got to shack it to me.
Shakma, am I right?
Radio Shakma. All right. Am I right? I'm correct.
You are right.
I always am.
I think we need to have
Except
another.
when it comes to my ex-wife.
Need to have another moment of silence
For
William Shatner, known for playing Data in the Star Wars movies. Died a few weeks ago. He was a beautiful man. May the force be long and prosper with you, Mr. Shatner.
it's a terrible,
Thank you.
terrible, terrible loss.
What the fuck is going on?
He was the one with the big nose, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I just read what's on the teleprompter. Sorry. Just trying to honor the man.
Why do we have a teleprompter? We're on the radio.
Shh. Quit giving away our secrets, you son of a bitch.
I can't.
I miss queefing it up. It's fun.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you
I
do.
miss queefing it up.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but the queef is dead.
That's true. Long live the queef.
Queefing.
You know who's not dead, though? Mike the Ninja!
Oh, boy.
He is employed as
Sorry,
a
wrong place.
I think Sven from the Pirate Bay is still alive.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Sven. I don't know. They tried to shut me down a couple of times. I keep coming back.
He's a revenant. So, hey, remember that gag we did back a few years
Yeah,
ago?
whatever.
That was 4 years ago.
It's a fucking day of the year. People get over it. Jesus. I mean, happy day of this year. It's the best day ever.
Today, really, like Mackie said earlier, before we went live, has been actually a fairly good April Fool's Day.
Okay.
It hasn't been like real douchey.
Did Blizzard stop doing that?
Yeah.
Like, how long ago? Did
I don't
they
know.
do it last year? Or
Don't know.
What did they do?
Like, their stupid Panda expansion for WoW actually started out as an April Fool's joke. And then enough people are like, man, make pandas! Yeah! And so they suddenly
They
made
made
pandas in WoW.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, that they were a stupid race in the lore anyway.
No.
It's not like there's like, hey, pandas, people? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, all right. Pandas.
I mean,
Brought to you
Not-
by Panda Express.
not defending whoever came up with the idea originally, but it was already there. It's just like if they, I'm sure one year they were like, hey, we're gonna have a Murloc playable class. That'd be fun, won't it? Just walk around going, whoa.
That'd be awesome.
It reminds me of McDonald's.
I'm Murloc.
That's a story you guys don't want to hear. You're over there.
Oh, okay. Now I remember the story. I'm with you now.
Which story?
It's about a McDonald's.
It's about the formerly world's largest McDonald's in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
The world's largest McDonald's asterisk.
Right, in Orlando. Orlando's largest McDonald's. The international McDonald's.
Orlando's
The International
world's
House of McDonald's.
Yes.
Orlando's world's largest McDonald's.
Yes. Or it will take you about an hour to get food if you order off anything but the standard McDonald's shit menu.
But you can get a chimichanga and French fries.
You can. It's just it'll take you an hour to get a McChimichanga. A McChonga.
Surprisingly good for a fucking McDonald's chimichanga.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Like, I expected it to be just gross garbage.
Sure.
Which is, I mean...
That's why you ordered it.
That's why I ordered it.
I'll have
And it
one
was-
gross garbage, please,
Right.
with fries.
And it was an acceptable chimichanga.
It was acceptable garbage.
Yeah.
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 Hey, everything's up. Shall we?
Oh, yeah.
Is it time?
What?
Is it time for podcasting time?
Wow.
Proper?
Yeah, let's...
Yeah, well,
Podcast proper. Oh yeah, we were going to have a timer and shit now, aren't we? What are you going to do? We're going back to the timer.
Okay.
all right.
Going back to the timer.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, we should also discuss which scenes we want to talk about. I would like to talk about the one where the monkey humps the door.
Oh, that's unfair. I wanted to talk about that scene.
Well, we can both talk
There's
about
plenty to go around, fellas.
it. Did anything else happen in this movie?
Can I talk about the scene where Christopher Atkins desecrates the dead body?
Which, again, there's... How about the one where
gonna
he
have to be more
smooches his
specific
dead
than that.
girlfriend?
He does smoosh her.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
So we're going to put it over here so we can actually all see it.
You can,
I'll check out Harlan's
hey.
big head.
you don't have to get the camera close to see his big...
We put in a big head cheat code.
his melon. You could maybe put it on top of the
Whoa.
hita.
And yet Shakma was in front of his face.
Oh.
The poster.
Oh, right. Special effects.
Like, it looks like it's on the wall, so I keep feeling like it should be on the wall, but it's not.
It's not. It's
superimposed.
yeah.
over. Oh,
you're-
God, don't do
Fucking superimposed it.
that. Fucking shit.
Fucking cheat.
All right. Time to set my settings to cell phone Nokia quality,
Sure.
so
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't affect the stream.
Don't fuck up the stream.
I'm just gonna listen to the "Take My Stand" Dragon Fight and credits song.
As you should.
all
They
the
should
time.
play that at his funeral. I think someone commented on that. They're like, I want this played at my funeral.
Holy
Yeah.
Jesus, we already got comments and shit.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah. Hey, where have
Hey,
you been?
internet.
Jeez.
I didn't have the page up.
Never
for
heard
months.
of her.
She get that page up.
That's
Page
fine.
up.
That's you, by the way.
What?
Page up?
No, it's just. Never mind.
Okay.
No, it's a fake poster. I hate to tell you.
wish.
Yeah, that would be kind of awesome. We should go watch Megaforce again.
Now,
Megaforce again,
now,
because we do
the
have that
Robot
poster.
Jocks poster is real,
Yeah, that's real.
as is the I Come in
I can
Peace
actually
poster.
move that around.
Jesus, don't hurt it.
Please
Jesus,
hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I wish we had the fucking real posters for some of these. Actually, that Shakma poster is pretty good.
Yeah, if we plan these movies out more than 48 hours in advance, we could get some posters in here. This week's movies has changed 3 times.
Has it?
It did.
Call it some audibles. Ha! Gotta get the word thing working.
Get your wordinator.
Ha!
How you gonna- how you
Unique New York.
How are you going to start the clock?
Unique
You're
New
gonna
York.
start it.
Yeah, you're going to start it.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Steve.
Or you. Either one of you people at that end of the table.
I can't reach it.
We need to get like one of those
Selfie sticks.
pins, and we'll just put it on a stick, like, and
There
we'll
you go.
just tape it like Shakma style, so you can just reach over.
Put it on the fan and then turn the fan on.
Okay.
I'm still amazed people made it all the way through Cinescrote.
I know. Like, I feel like that's something that only we think is funny,
No, it's
except
funny.
Chuck.
It's funny. It's exhausting, but it's funny.
Yeah.
You
was
have no
3
idea
hours
how
of us.
exhausting it
Oh,
was.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did that take you guys like a whole 45 minutes to listen to that? Really?
I'm not judging.
What
I'm
I love
just
about
saying.
it-
I lived
we
that
get,
fucking
like-
recording for like a week.
I'm sorry.
We'd get like 3 lines in, and then one of us would break, and so we'd have
Yeah.
to stop and redo it.
Yeah.
That's good times.
Cinescrote's my Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, that intro, I almost shut it off just starting the intro.
Oh, I know. Jesus.
I know. I just wanted
It's
to
like
keep
2
going.
minutes of
Keep going.
morning show garbage.
By the time fucking it's been 1 week kicks in, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fuck yes.
Yeah.
Is,
when I got to that,
is
I was
tub
like,
thumping
oh,
first
right.
or is 1 week
I
first?
don't
1 week is
know.
first, and then
Okay.
tub
Yeah.
thumbing kicks in.
Yep.
It definitely there's more
I realized I had a lack of Smash Mouth. I should have been.
Yeah.
Now
Did
we
need
know.
some mouth
Yeah.
sounds.
It is the closest to a scripted thing that.
Yet we had no
Bamcast-
script.
but it's still the closest to a scripted thing because I had notes. I still have them somewhere.
I
I
had
had a
some
page
notes, yeah.
full of notes of.
I wrote
shit
up
that we wanted
Chet
to.
Brockmeister's speech. 'Cause
That's right. I
were
helped you
definitely
write Chet
we were very
Brockmeister's speech.
we were very concerned about that. At the end,
Why were you? What were you so concerned
I
about?
don't remember why we were like, we need something at the end because you can't just.
in with a gunshot?
Oh God. Yes, you can.
Sorry, spoiler.
No, you need to undo the gunshot and then go to that cheerful song that says
Right.
technical difficulties. But then we're like, well, how do you end it after that?
Which, by the way, a little trivia for you. That is actually from. It's like hidden music that's in one of. It's Project Gotham. Yeah,
2, I think.
Project Gotham 2.
Yeah.
It was like transition music to like some hidden space level or some bullshit like that. It was like fucking weird.
Really weird. Well, I think it was like the arcade in the garage.
Oh,
You go to
okay.
the video, and that's where the first Geometry Wars was.
There you go. All right, bye.
See ya, man.
See you. It was a nice podcast.
Yeah, have
Cool.
a good one.
All right.
Effort.
Unique New York.
Yeah, we did put in effort back then.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Now we just show up and
Yeah. Now we show up, we're like, all right.
I don't know. Something.
We talk about how it was bananas.
more like
Literally crazy.
more
Oh,
like
wait, that's not us. That's somebody
Rockma,
else.
am I right? Wait, what are you doing? What is this paper?
You still
bullshit?
have
Oh, you
Notes.
found your notes?
Well, I have my notebook. It's
Please tell me you wrote down tender caress of a bullet in there.
no. That's one that's always in my head.
A bullet?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is it rattling around in there?
Yeah.
Can you pick up radio on it?
Yeah. When
When they still had radio?
Oh, God.
It was
You're
April
gonna-
1st.
Yeah, thanks, Chuck.
Around what episode was?
70 something, somewhere around there.
Oh, that must be in the first book then.
Oh, no. Old book.
Remember when there was only one notebook?
Yeah.
I
It
do.
was then that I was writing
Uh-huh.
you
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. I don't know how any of this works.
Yeah, I don't know. What
I
I'm
like that
doing.
you redesigned the site for one day and then it like broke the template.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah. And then eventually you fixed it.
Oh. We're dumb. We do dumb things.
That redesign was pretty horrible though.
Oh, yeah. Did I have some spinning animated GIFs? I don't remember. I should have taken more screenshots of it.
Yeah, well. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, huh?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it was mid 70s.
Yeah. Disco, platform shoes, Mod Squad.
Mm-hmm. God, we did a spoilcast for source code?
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, we were like, we were trying to do some spoilcast back then. I think we got passes to that like 2 weeks earlier or something like that.
And we were also into it.
Yeah, because it was from the guy who made Moon.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as good as Moon.
It's not as good as Moon, but it's pretty good.
It's all right.
Okay. Yeah.
String theory.
I don't have Cinescrote notes. Sorry, guys.
Send us scrutin notes.
Why have you failed us? Well, one of you don't get too comfortable because
It's
I'm just sitting here waiting.
Are you?
it's in
What?
a different notebook somewhere. Yes, sometimes I fall asleep during movies. Still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's not fall asleep during the podcast. Let's start it.
Yeah. I don't fall asleep during the podcast usually.
Yeah, it's getting late already.
Usually.
Where do you,
Someone has to start the thing. It's okay. He's just gonna hit the button and then slide back over here and be ready to go. I believe in him. I believe he can do this. So we're good now, right? Yeah? 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 Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
Bamcast.
Episode 267.
That is a 3-digit number.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
One more than the last one, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
And I am Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast. Let me tell you about that.
Okay.
We go ahead and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then we come in here and talk about it for the first half.
Yeah.
And then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Ah, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Totally. Bad movies. Stay away from. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags and some douchebags after Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Boom. So,
Yeah.
April.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what month it is.
It's back.
We brought it back for all our fans.
Yeah.
For all our fans.
We're firing it up with Shakma.
Yeah.
Shakma.
Often requested,
Shock it to me.
never
Shakma.
duplicated.
Shakma.
Shakma.
From 1990.
Yeah, 1990s.
1990s.
Shakma.
Shakma.
Filmed in the hot location of Orlando, Florida.
Hey,
Universal
BMFcast alum, Orlando, Florida.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So also sometimes Miami. Let's read a plot summary.
Okay.
Turned murderous by experimental drugs, a baboon escapes from a laboratory and attacks a group of students in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shakma.
Yep. It did some things. There was a baboon.
Yep. Movie opens.
Before we get into this,
Okay, before we talk about the movie.
yes.
All right.
Go on.
I would like to state that we are aware that a baboon is a monkey and not an ape, but for the purposes of April, we are going to allow it.
Yes, we are going to allow it.
It's primate pro.
Nice.
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's totally it.
No, it's April.
If
Whatever.
if you
Okay,
like
fine.
April, you'll love Prime April, which is what we're doing.
It's our
Yeah.
podcast.
Basically, it's like April, but you get the movies and the podcast within 2 days, free shipping.
Yes. Yep,
Prime April.
Prime April.
Primate pro.
Yes, Prime April.
Amazon Prime April. Yeah.
No.
Nope, just Prime
just
April.
us.
No,
Bamcast
not
Prime
like
April.
Amazon,
We're
like
just,
the jungle.
We're just going to drone on and on about this for a little while.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, let's dash into this.
Okay. So, movie opens. Doctors are doing experimental surgery
Very dramatic surgery.
Dr. Crap.
stuff. Yeah, they're cutting into a head.
Dr. Crap.
Now, you don't know at first. They're just cutting into a head, like, separators, get the bone saw.
We know.
We know, because we know what the movie's
we
called.
know. It's
Yeah.
coming.
And yeah, they get the brain, and it's like, okay, let's stick this big needle in there and fill this brain full of whatever this goo is and sew it back up. And yes, of course, it's Shakma the baboon. They are doing experiments on his brain.
Oh.
Because, I don't know, we're shitty doctors, and let's just do some things.
Yeah. It's never explained exactly what they're doing.
No.
It's just a lot of research has gone into it. That's all we know.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, they're like, all right, seal them up, we're done. And then it's just like, it's kind of like if like the people in Scrubs were even kind of shittier, they're just like, what are you doing, guy?
Yeah, hey,
I know
you-
there's like, medical stuff behind me and stuff, but like,
I'm going to jump on this gurney and ride it down the hallway. Woo!
Irresponsible
Well,
doctors, yes.
Yeah, but even during the surgery, the one guy, like Roddy McDowall is BAMcast alum, Roddy McDowall.
oh, yes.
Of
Yes.
his most famous role, class of 1984,
Totally.
is the doctor performing the surgery and injecting the baboon, and one of his assistants is some guy who I couldn't even tell you his name,
No.
but he's just like constantly asking him about the game. He's like, "Well, I just want you to know you did an amazing job in there," and he's like, "What do you want?" He's like, I want in on the game.
Right, the
You guys
game.
have a game, and that's like what all of them continue to talk about through the beginning is the game.
Right.
And the one guy
That's Richard,
can't.
by the way.
Richard. Yeah.
He's the one-
He's the one they'll say his name the most. In the
They're
movie
super
straight.
concerned about this guy, and this guy could give a shit about any of them or anything.
This guy's an asshole.
Yeah, he totally is an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's apparently like related to all of them, and they all
But-
think he's super neat.
But we're introduced to the game. It's so important to him that he's like practically ready to interrupt him injecting a monkey full of monkey serum or whatever.
Monkey full
Well,
of
the monkey will
serum.
be full of the monkey serum.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But if he's interrupted, he will not be.
But he certainly wants him to know, I want to be in on the game.
And I believe Roddy McDowell's response is, well, you're going to have to talk to Sam because he's, he's planning the game. So we're
Yes.
busy right now. Shut up.
Go
And,
away, talk to Sam.
And was it, it's Gary, the other guy?
Sure.
He's just like, yeah, when you're, if you're done like with your lips on the doctor's ass, why don't you help me sew up the monkey here and be done with this?
Right. Our jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever they may be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's when they get to the rolling back in and being goofy.
Yeah, they sew up the monkey, and I guess they got the monkey on the gurney, and they're just like, "Wee, ride the gurney, and let's talk about the game." Yep. And Sam, who's Christopher Atkins from Blue Lagoon, pirate movie stuff from the early 80s.
Y'all keep
you may
talking
or may
about
not
that
have
like it's a thing.
It is a thing. It's a good thing. You should see.
He's also BAMcast alum.
seen. Is he? What?
Quickly.
Oh God, that's right.
Oh, right.
Quickly.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Christopher
yeah.
Atkins' most famous role. Quickly.
These movies are quite similar, actually. that Gary Busey Quigley was attacking all
I
of
like
them.
to imagine Shakma eventually gets possessed by Gary Busey.
That's probably, if they'd had the budget, that's what was in his head, is Gary Busey going, yeah, I'm coming.
Can you imagine Shakma with a Gary Busey voiceover throughout this movie?
Yes, I absolutely
like
can.
instant 5 jocks.
We
Just run around.
gotta take a break and come back. We're gonna watch Shakma again.
Now that we understand the
super
premise.
Search
Like,
monkey movie. All right.
it would be great if it was him just like over the way. Every time Shakma does anything, just going, Shakma!
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah! Shakma!
Hey, what do you want? I'm going to come over there. Stay right there.
Don't you move, door.
Yeah.
Shakma, yeah.
Gary Busey does all the voices for the movie Shakma.
See, and think about Quigley. Quigley would have been great if that had happened too.
Yeah, it
Whenever
would've.
Quigley did anything, he's like, Shakma!
Well, he was like, what, a Pomeranian in that?
Yes.
Yeah, those things are terrifying. They look like
Shakma!
baboons.
Hey, I'm a monkey. Hey, look at me. I'm a monkey.
I don't know, Dr. Fuck-Ups, what are they doing? They're just, I don't know, they're
Just all
they're
hanging out.
funning.
They're just
We're
walking
all
around,
getting
yeah.
ready for the game.
funning around.
let's discuss the game because
Because it's Christopher Atkins and his girlfriend is Amanda Weiss, who what is her name? Tina in Nightmare on Elm Street. She's
Sure.
like the first one Freddy kills.
Yeah,
cool.
notable. Trivia.
Yeah, but I don't think she's in any BMFcast movies, sadly.
Oh. Well, well.
Boo.
Now she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she's an alum.
Shakma.
But they're like discussing the game and they're being a little vague about the game, but like we as a 2015 audience are pretty much already picking up that like they're
Yeah.
going to be playing some sort of role playing game. We don't really know the extent of it.
There's a computer involved.
Well, yes, because he eventually goes to see Bradley, and Bradley's got this computer program running.
Bradley.
And before we describe Bradley, because I think we could spend some time on him, let me describe the
Yeah,
computer
Bradley.
program because it's, it's obviously like a mocked up screen. It's not any kind of thing, but it's the shitty. This is Unix. I know this version of the place they're in,
Yeah.
all the rooms, and he's saying, "Well, I've marked out where the keys and the treasure and all the stuff are going to be." And watch this. Do you see this person here? And he's got, what looks like if you plop like NES style graphics on top of a, grid layout, like a standard formal computer thing, and it's just kind of like clunkily moving around the screen. And he's like, I got a tracker on this person, and look, this is a tracker, and it really just looks like, I don't know, it looks like a battery with like some wire wrapped around it,
Yeah.
and then he's got. I don't know. It looks like a Dyson air fan thing. It's a thing. I can't remember what it's called. It's like some kind of it's like an oscillating antenna or something.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's like a VHF antenna or UHF.
Yeah, it's
circular
the round one,
The
yeah.
round one. Yeah,
Yeah, but
looks
it's
like
just-
it's just spinning.
Yeah,
There.
it's just spinning.
It's spinning.
Yeah, and then basically he's like, I can track everyone. I've got these all over the place, and
Yep.
everyone will wear these, and we'll know where they are. And
Right. And it'll be so real.
Our game master will be able to control everything.
Our medieval game will be so real thanks to all this
yeah.
technology.
Oh, and also here, look at all these walkie-talkies with everyone's named on them. They're
Yes.
they're programmed and
Isolated frequencies.
isolated frequencies. They can only talk back to the game master.
Yep.
Which doesn't make any sense because the game master also has multiple walkie-talkies that are paired up to him.
Yes.
I think it's just that he had pair like
Yes.
It's just each pair he could pick
All
up.
right,
And
but now let's talk about Bradley himself.
which is like this is kind of a clever idea for a game.
maybe if they'd explained the premise one step further, because it never
don't-
makes any sense after that.
Well, yeah, like how they run the game
Yeah.
is redumb.
Yeah, what we gleaned, what I gleaned of the game
Yeah.
as they were playing it is they each get 3 keys that allow them to go in a specific room.
Yes.
yeah,
on-
any room, I think.
Yeah, a key unlocks a door.
Yeah,
Any key
and
unlocks
all
any
the
door.
doors are locked apparently, but,
Yeah,
but
they
not
go in
really.
and there are clues to something inside,
Locked in quotes.
where it'll be like written on a blackboard or something, where
Yeah.
it'll say this word has all vowels, it makes no sense,
Yeah.
and that'll
Yeah.
be the clue, and then it'll be the
And
other one. Will be
sometimes
like,
it'll have something like you also gain 3 keys.
Yeah.
So like you can get extra keys or power ups and shit.
So
Yeah,
they have
'cause
to
you can get
figure
like a
out some
reveal
kind of
crystal.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have to figure out some kind of puzzle. They have a reveal
Or the
crystal,
petrification crystals.
and it's
Basically, they're
Glitter?
LARPing.
yeah,
Yeah,
Sure.
but it's sort of like
but they're
it's
not
like
dressed.
it's like a player versus environment, and they're not dressed up.
they're
and-
dressed normally, but I guess they're LARPing, yeah,
Sure.
because it is live action and they are playing roles.
Sort of, yeah, I guess.
So,
But the other thing is like they're also playing it where like their roles are hidden. Where there's also they have this little side thing where it's
they
like
don't know
That
what-
was another iteration on the game.
Sure.
Apparently, they had played it a different way
Yeah, I
before because that was a
Yeah.
new thing.
but also, Richard Dick, the asshole, has kind of inserted himself into the game.
Oh, Richard Dick the asshole has
Yeah,
inserted
yeah.
himself into the game.
Uh-huh.
All right,
Yeah.
sir.
And this is what's weird is because he's like, I need to get in the game. I need to get in the game. And then like they're like, all right, fine, you're in. And they're like, we could be playing all night. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
No, fuck this thing. And then his girlfriend's outside bitching that he's not there.
Yep.
That, oh, you're going to be playing this game for hours. And he's like, no, babe, it'll be over soon. Duh. But once he's in, he is just like, fuck everything about this.
Oh, yeah.
He's basically trolling them.
He like
the
takes
rest
a
of the
nap
time.
under a table. He's just like, fuck
Yeah.
all
well, basically
of
they
this.
tell him like, okay, you're going to be the nemesis. You're an unkillable enemy. You're going to hide in a room, and if someone comes along, you slay them.
Right.
That's it.
Which he immediately fucks up.
Yeah.
Well,
Because let's get back to Bradley because we
Yeah.
need to talk about Bradley.
He-
They
real quick.
introduced he's the computer programmer.
Yeah.
he wants to ingratiate himself with Sorensen,
Right.
The
Well,
professor.
that's his initial premise. is-
Roddy
but he
No.
also wants to just get this the fuck over with.
I guess. I don't know. He seems super stoked about it.
I
And then
don't-
once he's in, he's just
He
like,
seems
fuck
like-
everything about this.
He's just a
He's
brown
a-
noser, and
Yeah,
like,
but he's not going
right.
to accomplish any of his goals by doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, no,
he needs to
'cause he's-
fucking man up and do this shit.
Because he's
Yeah.
also an idiot.
Yeah.
Man up and LARP.
He is.
I believe
yeah.
he's a slacker and a brown noser, so he's like, I want a brown nose, but I also don't want to do shit.
Right.
Okay.
He wants to brown nose in the easiest
So
way
we
possible.
call him middle management.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what he's
So really, he needs to man up and start LARPing.
all of the bosses
Yes.
I've ever had.
Right.
LARP the shit out of this
Yeah.
thing. Roddy McDowell's counting on you.
So Bradley, let's talk about Bradley.
Yes, we need to.
Bradley,
should
the
talk
computer,
about
Bradley.
who's not only he's the computer programmer or whatever he is from the beginning,
Whatever.
but then he's also playing the game later, which seems
Yeah.
like, don't you know where everything is? Because you just
I think that's what he was kind of saying earlier. Is like, look what I've got access to. I know where everything is and shit, and I'm gonna be super awesome at the game.
yeah, but
And
like
it is
Chris
so
Rackins is-
disappointing.
yeah.
That this guy, this is the only movie that guy's ever been in.
well,
Literally his only credit.
let's explain why because he's
Amazing.
that's a word.
He's
Okay,
amazing.
if you took a member of Saturday Night Live doing the Californians and then turned them super effeminate,
Yeah.
it'd be this guy. Because it's like, oh, I made a computer program, but it's like totally like I did a thing. It's just like everything he says kind of like drags off at the end, like,
And like open mouth, like he never closes his mouth
Right.
to
Yeah.
say a word.
But like the thing
He's
is
just
that
talking
he's
like this all the time.
he's stereotypical computer hacker, fuzzy beard, balding, sloppy guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's who he is. But he's like someone has hijacked that character and is playing him with this voice of just like, well, I've just totally got to win this game, and then I'm gonna get all the keys.
I'm
And
so
it's like,
Bradley.
what the?
but then
He's
like,
the only one who seems to be genuinely like into this. Too.
Oh, he's so into it on a very subtle level of just like, I
because
so
like yeah,
get
skipping
this.
ahead when he like they pretty much like all this is how I forgot we should talk about the crux of the actual movie before
Oh,
we
sure.
get to the game starting.
All right.
is they've wheeled Shakma in, they're having their bullshit around Shakma, and you know he's supposed. They injected him with whatever this in his brain, and what it was supposed to do was make him tranquil because, as they state in the movie, baboons are the most aggressive primate.
Yes.
And by nature, so this is supposed to calm them down. And they tried before, but it's fucked up. And then so he's just sitting on pretty much unsupervised on this gurney behind them
Yep.
while they're talking and fucking around, and he wakes up and goes ape shit.
Literally.
Yeah, just he's just like fuck you guys, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
like start knocking everything over in the lab.
Well, he's like, you cut my head open.
Yeah.
Shakma.
Yeah,
And then he attacks.
yeah.
My brain hurts.
And so like eventually like they jab him with like a spear with a needle on the end that's got tranquilizer on it.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of tranquilizer in it.
And so he goes to sleep, and Roddy McDowell comes in and he's like, what is this? You
What
know.
on earth have you
Yeah.
done? All my research has been fucked up. Just
Yeah, and they're like, dude,
kill him. Just kill him.
Yeah. He tells me put 20 cc's in
Yeah.
him, and he's like, I'll put 200 more. And he's like, no, that's going to kill him. He's like, it's over anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're done here.
Yeah. It's best for him.
Right.
Yeah. And I guess the idea is that Chris Rackins doesn't want to kill him, because he has the one type of medicine, or not medicine, but one type of
He has what he was told to give him.
chemical,
Yeah.
and he switches it.
Not
He
on
doesn't know.
purpose.
He's fucking around and talking, and
Yeah.
he sets it down. He looks at it. He has this long moment. He's like, "I was trying to train Shakma to to be docile through training."
Yeah.
And so he's like looking at the medicine, and he puts it back, and then he's just like, "All right, I guess I got to do what I'm told," and just reaches behind him and grabs the wrong bottle.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's not
And
even.
then, he never looks at it.
Yeah, he's
I
just
wasn't
Doctor
sure if that
Fuck
was
Up.
accidental or
No.
if he just
No.
he did.
It's not a conscious choice at all. He
Okay.
just literally just like, whatever, I'm just going to grab this bottle and give it to the monkey.
Yeah, don't let me put 200 milliliters and not even like be looking at the label while I'm putting it in.
Yeah.
Responsible.
Yeah.
So whatever the thing was next to the tranquilizer is anti-tranquilizer.
But then he can't go through with putting him in
It
the
doesn't necessarily
incinerator.
have to be because if he already had it directly in his brain, it just might not have killed him.
Sure. It's
it could have been an
saving.
antibiotic for all
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It said what it was on it. I don't.
it was a long
Monkey
ass
shine.
thing.
It's also probably bullshit. It's probably not even really. They probably. I was just saying this is the kind of movie where it's probably.
It's probably truth serum.
It's probably not even. That thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Finally, the monkey will do
No,
what's
I'm
on
just
his
saying this
mind.
is the kind of movie they were like it's parabloxium.
Yeah.
And just write that on the bottle. And
Unobtainium.
I just made that up.
Shoot him up with
Yeah.
some
But yeah,
unobtainium.
but then right after that, so he's wheeling him to the crematorium, and he just can't put him in the incinerator.
No, he hasn't even shot him up yet. He grabs it, fills the thing, and is like sitting there like, I don't know if I want to shoot the monkey up with this.
Right.
And so that's when
That's right.
when
When
Dick Bag
Dick
walks in.
is-
He's like, dude, get out of here. I'll do this.
Yeah.
And
You can't be a doctor if you get too attached
So-
and want to help people
Yeah.
Yeah.
or animals. Sure.
So he, I assume he injects him, and then Roddy McDowell comes in and is just like, "What's going on here?" And he's like, "I was about to put him in the incinerator like you wanted." He's like, "Yes, but after I do an autopsy on him,
Yeah.
I'll get to it tomorrow because it's Friday.
It's
and
like,
we're
what
gonna
day is
game
it?
night."
Friday? All right, I'll do it tomorrow. Whatever. Just leave him here. Come on, let's go play the game.
Yeah, so they just leave them, the gurney in there and walk away.
Yep.
And I think he sees Shakma's hand moves.
Yeah, but he's like, oh, well, I guess
I was seeing things.
Death Twitch.
So yeah.
Yes.
So that's the entire setup of the movie. Monkey's not dead.
Right.
All right.
Monkey not dead.
So on to the LARPing.
Yes.
Oh, yes, please. Let's LARP it up.
Yes.
So yeah, they're all being all competitive. Like Bradley is the only one who is like, I'm going to win this game. I must win the game.
Well, this is where it also becomes weird because they all have to call in to the game master, who's Roddy McDowell,
Yes.
and report what they're about to do, and he says yes or no. They're allowed to do it. Mm-hmm. Kind of makes sense, but these walkie-talkie things kind of take it completely out of any medieval realism.
Oh, absolutely. Especially that they're all using current lingo.
Oh, and we forgot one other character that was introduced. Richard has a younger sister who comes to visit and is immediately like, "Oh my God, I love you, Christopher Atkins. I'm 14, love me."
Yeah.
And she's going to be the princess.
She's the princess.
Yeah.
But then she fucks off for most of the rest of the movie for a while.
Oh, also they make a bet.
Yeah,
That's right.
There's a $1,500 bet.
Yeah, $500 a piece. Med students don't have $500.
Well, three of them
wouldn't
did.
think.
Yeah.
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 But that also gives
That's like $1 million in today's money.
yeah, but that gives Gary the reason to not trust anybody else
Yes.
because he's like, oh, you guys are trying to fuck me out of the money.
Right. Gary, another guy. There.
Yeah, Gary doesn't do much.
Nope. Gary just wanders around like, I'm
Yeah.
going to win the game.
Gary just wanders around like he's the only other one into the game only because he wants the money.
Right.
He's shocked.
He's also the one who is
He's
away
there-
from Shakma the most.
Yeah.
So he's playing the game the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But he's like the guy on The Bachelor. He's there for the wrong reasons.
He's not there to make friends. He's there to be America's next shock model.
Pretty close.
Something like that.
Yeah.
What?
That's the
Sorry.
Be-
Yeah,
sorry,
you
that's
were
the
just-
best joke I could make out of
That's
that.
All right.
We're getting there.
We'll allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're playing the game.
I'll workshop on it.
They're finding clues and
And this is where Bradley's like radio in. And he's like, Professor, or no, he's like Game Master. I'm going to open up room 414.
Sir Bradley.
Yeah, but I mean that's literally how he's talking. He's like,
yeah.
okay, I'm going in 414 now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also kind of the one playing the role, right? Because he's like he's the only one. He's like, I'm Sir
Sir
Bradley.
Right.
So
Other and
Yeah. And he goes into the room where Richard is, who is sleeping under a table.
Yeah.
Was he sleeping? I thought he was just
he was sitting there, like looking at something,
and he heard
like,
the door
hears-
open, and he just
He just hides
And he
under the
hides.
table.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess
Because he
I
has a
don't know.
mask.
And
Like a
they all
Wolfman
have
mask.
trackers, so Roddy McDowell knows where all of them are.
Okay,
Right.
This is where I don't want to like really nitpick the movie too much.
Oh,
I
all right.
I do because that's what we do. But okay, so this asshole doesn't want to be here.
No.
Now wants the game to end as soon as possible so he can go have the sex with his girlfriend.
Sure.
Yes.
And yet he knows, right? He does understand. I mean, let's assume he has a brain cell or two left because he is a med student or whatever they are, some sort of research students.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that he's the bad guy and will kill the people. Killing people means game's over sooner.
Yeah.
Why would he hide?
Maybe he.
I don't think he was prepared to do whatever it was he was supposed to do.
All he has to do is go,
Yeah, I know.
monster. Yeah.
I'm the nemesis.
Yep.
What I thought was that he was just going to let him go by, so that he thought they would solve the puzzle or whatever quicker than
Is that
he
it?
would kill them all.
more
off.
people-
Yeah. If
Well,
more
yeah,
people
because
were,
Roddy McDowell does scold him because he
Right.
goes, he knows he's in room 414.
Because there's a big graphic of a wolf thing on
Yeah.
the screen, and
Yeah.
he sees Bradley come in, and then
Bradley gets
sees
the clue,
Bradley
figures
go
it out, and leaves.
He's like, "What the fuck?"
and Roddy McDowell's like, Dick, Dick,
What are you doing, Dick?
where are you? He's like, I'm in room 414. Where you think I am? He's like,
All right, you fucked up.
yeah, you're. If he's in there, you're supposed to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh yeah, sorry about that. I didn't see him.
What's the fellow
was-
fall asleep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's like, this game's not going to last any length of time if you keep doing this.
He's
He's
like,
like,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So I guess
Like, yeah, you old
So I
windbag,
guess he,
yeah.
you know,
over and out.
he was running the odds. He was
Yeah.
running the odds to see, well, maybe if they all solve it quick enough.
Yeah.
He saw Bradley's passion and he knew.
He knew
Sure.
that Bradley
Bradley was gonna
on
figure
to
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bradley wasn't going to figure out anything because Bradley then calls in again and is like, I'm going in the specimen lab. And you're going where? I'm going to the specimen lab.
Well, he finds the magic
get
pouch of glitter.
Right. I've got glitter and I think I've heard. I think
Oh
I've
yeah,
heard
I think I know where the
nemesis.
nemesis is.
yeah.
like telling
Apparently,
you
the
this
glitter
specimen
is the weapon to defeat the nemesis, even though the
Because it's
nemesis is the
petrification.
undefeatable creature.
Listen, it's petrification powder. Yeah, so it's gonna. I'm gonna get immortality from the nemesis
I'll be in the lab.
with a pen and a pad, trying to get this damn label.
Yeah, so he walks into a room and it's just like glitter.
Yeah.
And then Shakma
Yeah. Yeah.
off camera, just
Never-
monkey.
Never ever bring glitter to a Shakma party.
No.
Or a Shakma fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because
That's the Shakma way.
Sparkly! Shakma!
Rip throat out.
Hey,
Yeah.
You got throat. I want it.
Yeah, Bradley's dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they've also, like, the lab, Shakma has trashed it.
Oh, yes. Murdered all of those other specimens
There's
except for
only
one
one.
chimp.
Yeah, one chimp's just sitting in the corner like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
Could have let me out of the cage.
why don't you let me
Yeah.
out? I'll fight Shakma.
Yeah.
I'll take him on. I hate that fucker.
So Game Master Roddy McDowell is like, hey, Dick, you want to go check on Bradley because his motion tracker's not working.
Yeah, because like as soon as he dies, the motion tracker disappears.
because Shakma beat that fucking thing to death.
The motion does stop.
It stops, but it should still be reporting a signal. He just
guess.
disappears off the game board.
No,
which
it
is-
got Shakma.
Okay, well, yes, that does lead to Roddy McDowell just like, hey, go check on him because something's up.
Yeah. So he goes in there and is like, this all seems not quite legit.
Yep.
There's shit everywhere. And I believe does he find the dead guy before he
Yes.
gets Shakma?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
'Cause-
finds him and he's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then Shock was like, hey, what's up, guy?
And they have a little bit of a chase. Like he gets away from the initial attack
Yeah,
and
runs
hides
into
in a closet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
Which is our first instance of
yeah.
Shakma just flat out
Door
this
rage.
baboon flinging himself
Yes.
wildly at a door, which, as anyone who has IMDb knows, is they put a female in heat behind the door, and then we're like, hey, Shakma, check it out. And he's like, bitches!
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, to describe this
Baboon
properly, for those of you who have seen and appreciate The Princess Bride, when Mandy Patinkin is desperately trying to break down a door to get to Christopher Guest, that is what this baboon does to every door he comes to.
But like
Yeah.
times 100.
But
Yes.
if it was a baboon,
It's,
right.
Right.
that instead of wanting to kill the man who killed your father, wants
To kill whatever's behind
Just
the door.
one-
Fuck something behind that door.
Yes.
So this baboon, I mean, it looks sped up this thing is freaking out
It's not.
so
Yeah,
much,
no,
but it's not.
No.
But it is like throwing itself 3 feet in the air, just like literally flinging its body at the door, and then
with no regard for its
But
own safety.
This
flinging
this
itself
first
at
one
the
is just
door.
kind of like, door. I'm a little mildly annoyed at it. It ramps up as the
Oh,
movie
yeah.
goes on.
Yes.
Because this one's just like, he kind of wants to get in that door.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Richard is inside and he's like, I don't know, science, and grabs a thing of hydrochloric acid, which
Yeah.
I don't think is that's not as like abrasive as some other things could be.
Well,
There's
I mean,
worse acids.
yeah.
I mean, that's just
it's
the shit.
there.
That's just the
He's
shit
like,
that's in your
"Oh,
stomach. I mean,
this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good.
no, it's not
but-
good, but I don't think it's like quite the instant like bubbly death that it
Right.
was in this.
You are correct.
Yeah.
But yeah,
how do you know?
Because I've vomited before.
well, he
Anyway,
pours it
I've
in a
done
beaker.
research.
All right, you got a point.
But he pours it in a beaker, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like a
It's-
bubbling cauldron of death.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
but
he
yes,
just like,
he's just like, here, Shakma,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
"Here,
pour
I
some
got
acid on your
special
face.
drink for you here,
Yeah.
Shakma."
And then Shakma, of course, is like, ha, I kill you. And apparently, like it's mostly off screen, but he kills him and also makes him dump the acid all over his own face.
Yes, because when he's discovered later,
Yeah,
he has no face.
He has no face. Yes, this is true.
Also,
this
Shakma
man has no face.
Yes, Shakma apparently continues to snack on him throughout the movie.
Yeah.
like because they come to this room a billion times, and just every once in a while you would just see Shakma sitting on his chest, just chewing on something. It's just like, oh, ew. But he really likes this dude. He doesn't like eating anyone else for a snack. It's this fucker is just like Shakma
Yeah.
treats.
Shakma treat.
Yeah. Man, the movie at this point just
Yeah, I mean, we could skip like literally 45 minutes of the movie almost because
There's
like,
there's a lot
Roddy
of
Mc-
repetitive
I think
stuff.
Roddy McDowell's the next one. He's just like,
Yeah.
what is with these fuckers? Let me go down there. And also,
because nobody's answering. his
Christopher
calls.
Atkins and his girlfriend meet up in a room and like get all sexy timed and get interrupted by the walkie-talkie. And they're like, hey, you guys are together. Good. Just stay there. I'll be right back. I got to go check on these people. And so Roddy McDowell goes down and gets Shakma like right away. Like
he opens the elevator.
he opens
Yeah.
up. He
Opens the
that's right,
elevator
he goes
and
into-
leaves the key in.
Yeah.
he locks it on that floor
Right.
and goes to discover and like sees Richard and is immediately like, let me touch the the gaping wound on
right.
your chest.
Oh, touches it real long.
Well, and
too.
Richard's face, like half of it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But-
it's just like, oh, this is real.
This begins the like. I think these people are. We'll go with doctors. I don't know what they are. They're some sort of medical type people,
Probably.
and yet they have to touch a half ripped apart body to know if they're dead or not.
It could be part of the game.
They might be.
He doesn't know.
They
The
could,
most dangerous game.
they could be witch doctors.
Which doctors?
Maybe.
They could be
Yeah.
bitch doctors.
Yeah,
They could
I remember
be the
that show on UPN.
They could be the bottom of their class.
Yeah.
They haven't done their rounds yet. They don't know.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
But they're not
Haven't done
moving.
the
If you're missing half your face.
Yeah.
They're not moving at all, so they're obviously
Yeah.
not Twitch doctors.
Maybe they're used to trauma.
Oh.
So they're like, well, I've seen worse.
Oh, sure.
I saw a monkey with his brains exposed.
Yeah, it's
earlier
True, because I
today.
did it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's possible that someone with the insides of their face exposed, maybe it's part of a medical procedure.
Sure,
We're just
on the
gonna
floor.
check. Right.
transplant.
You never know.
But
Puddles of blood.
anyway,
Never know.
Roddy McDowell's like, let me poke my fingers into
Oh,
your
he-
gaping chest wound, and,
And
then
then
it's like,
wipe it on my shirt.
well, then he's like, oh,
Then he
Oh, yeah.
clutches
Blood.
his hands to his chest.
And his face, and just
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, I'm covered in blood. Well, I better just wipe it all over me because
Yeah.
that's the best thing to do. And he's giving a good like acting moment.
yeah, and then he hears like the rustling of Shakma. I don't think he sees him right away.
Rustling of
No,
shock.
But like he's like I better get back to the elevator,
Yeah.
and that's when you see Shakma down at the end of the hallway, just kind of like a silhouette.
Yeah.
and like he's kind of like, what is that? And
Yeah.
then it's like, "Arr!" and starts charging down the hall.
Shakma
to which
just
he's like,
warp speed.
keys, and then he's like, oh shit, it's locked in the elevator, and trying to lock it back and push the button, but no, Shakma goes flying into the elevator and mauls
Yep.
Roddy McDowell.
Now, I do wonder how they film some of this. I mean, because you can clearly tell most of the shots are like no other human is on this set right now.
Oh right.
no.
Yeah, it's the
because
trainer
like
and no one else.
almost all shots of are Shakma by himself, but they'll have some where either they got like a really good puppet that they threw on these people. I mean, because obviously they're not going to have the baboon attacking them,
No.
but These actors do a good job of selling.
Oh, yeah.
This thing is tearing the shit out of my face.
Yeah.
It's a Pomeranian, and they just put like peanut butter on their necks.
Yes.
Scary Busey.
Big carpet over the Pomeranian. It's just like, oh god, kisses.
Oh, it's so adorable.
But I mean, they go.
Dying of cute.
They don't shy away from having like
No.
people holding thing off their face,
Yeah.
flipping out because it's ripping them to shreds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is some puppetry involved because we do see a lot of like camera shot under the chin of, blood dripping off teeth of
Yeah.
Shakma as
yeah.
someone else is wandering around the hallway, usually Christopher Atkins. But yeah, so after Roddy McDowall gets ripped to shreds, that's when the movie just becomes 45 minutes of just slinking around and opening and closing doors.
And then Shakma fucking those doors.
Yeah, but it's just like, hey, what's down this hallway? Oh my god, it's Shakma.
Yeah.
Run in door, shut door, Shakma fucks the door. Then Shakma's just like, I'm bored with this, and goes away, and then they're like peek out, and then Shakma's like, oh, they're still in there, run, fuck the door. And man, they just...
There's a lot of back and forth where he's like, all right, they get this thing, they basically get a flash bulb, and they're like, well, we can blind Shakma with it.
Yeah.
That goes
does fucking nowhere. Yeah.
because they do it, and Shakma's like, no, fuck you, I'm
I
Shakma.
don't give a shit.
Whatever shit you
Shakma!
injected in my brain,
Yep.
I'm impervious to your flash bulb.
Because it doesn't slow him down in the least.
No.
You
Take
know
a
my
picture of me
name?
coming for your ass.
My name's Shakma.
That on Instagram.
The two of them like fuck around on the 5th floor where Shakma is for like 20, 30 minutes.
A good long time.
Because like they're like, well, was Richard still alive? I don't know. I thought I saw his hand move. Well, we should go back and check on it.
Yes, that's the
And-
worst.
And like they go back and forth, and like eventually they drag everyone but Bradley into the stairwell, including Roddy McDowall.
Right. Well, they couldn't summon the elevator because
Right.
Roddy McDowall's body had propped it open, and
Yes.
they couldn't. So they get Roddy McDowall's body and drag it into the stairwell, and this begins Christopher Atkins just touching every dead body for no reason whatsoever.
Except for Bradley. Bradley never moved Bradley.
No,
Ever.
Well,
And
they have-
but Bradley's the one they're most concerned about. They think he's alive.
Yeah, but the thing too is, they get Shakma in the room, like when they do the flashbulb, and Shakma's like, "Fuck you, flashbulb, no!"
Right.
And so banging on the door, freaking out, and he goes, "Hey, hold the door,"
Yeah.
and then proceeds to kind of slink around and be like, let's see if I can get over here and find this." And that's when he moves Roddy McDowall, and she's like, "Oh my god,
He's coming through the door.
this baboon is going to rape its way through the door," because it's just.
You can see the door just coming
Yeah,
apart.
and she's freaking out, and he's like, "All right, be right back, just a minute."
Yeah,
and
just-
they show him just dragging Roddy McDowall's body by, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
slowly too,
Yeah.
slinking around, just like, well, there's Shakma over there. I'll
Yeah.
just mosey on over
Yeah,
here.
but he's like peeking around corners. It's like, you know where the monkey is.
He's over there fucking the door.
Yeah.
You can
You
see
can
it
hear it.
happening. Yeah.
People across the street can hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a lot of bad decisions being made here
Mm-hmm.
of rescuing dead people, and
Yeah.
there are at least 10 shots of Christopher Atkins peeking around the same corner. He just like keeps going around in a circle, just peeking around. And half the time he's like, sit, Shakma. Stay. Sit down.
Yeah, and the one time he
Wait.
does want Shakma to come after him,
Yeah.
Shakma's like, "Well, I get it.
Yeah.
Nope. Shakma."
So you're up to something. I'm on to you, buddy.
Because I mean, I don't even know. It's just padding time of like, I guess we'll put our lead characters in danger,
Right.
But nothing ever becomes of this, and they eventually
They spend so much time trying to get to Richard to make sure that he's alive.
Right.
And it all ends up being, nope, he's dead.
Oh yeah, like
And the
seriously
thing is-
missing a face.
And the thing is, the audience already knows this.
Oh, yeah.
So it
It's
renders it
infuriating.
even more pointless.
Yeah.
Eventually, they end up on the 6th floor, and
Well, they go looking for Gary.
well, I think they just go up on the 6th floor. Like that's where they think the phones are, and they get up there, and
Yeah,
that's where the administrator's office, like
Yeah.
all the professors' offices are, but they're all locked, like legitimately locked, not like LARPing locked. You know, they're like walking around, they're like,
Being locked.
and they're walking.
to Lapping Lock, my lord.
So they go from door to door. They're all locked, and they're like, "Well, what do we do?" And then they start yelling at each other. Like,
Nobody wants to hear about Jesus.
no,
Every door is like, nope, nobody's home.
No, thank you.
yeah. And so they just start yelling at each other, and it's like at this point we're like, "Why aren't you going downstairs and getting the fuck out of the building?"
Yeah. I mean, it's been established that the building is locked, and Roddy McDowell had the only key. But it's not like they couldn't just get down to the ground floor and smash a window. But this is never discussed.
I want to know what place after like 1970 doesn't have a fire door.
Right.
Like a door that you can't lock. It locks from the outside.
Yeah.
But no, you don't ever lock. You can't lock yourself anywhere.
Or knock a fucking window out or
Exactly.
something.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But this barely ever crosses their mind. They just keep going up. Mm-hmm. And they're so concerned about people that they haven't seen in 2 hours of the LARPing game. Because he goes looking for Gary.
Mm-hmm. And eventually Gary is
she goes looking for Gary.
She goes, all right, she's hiding out in the stairwell, and here's like a door open, I think, below her.
Oh, right.
And it's like, Gary, is that you? And instead of saying like, holy fucking shit, there's a killer monkey on the loose, I'm not fucking around here.
Yeah.
He's just like, Gary, is that you?
Yeah.
Gary.
How did Gary not hear?
And then Gary's just like,
Huh? Yeah.
No, I think he heard her and was like, I'm going to sneak in.
Yeah, but how did he not hear Shakma?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Good soundproofing between the floors, I guess.
Yes.
No, because Shakma hears them when they're walking around.
Shakma's.
Well,
he must have been dragging
he's also
like a
got
laser
bionic-
light around the ceiling because, man, there are so many scenes of him just looking at the ceiling like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is up
He's
there?
got
I'm gonna
bionic
rip
monkey
your face
hearing,
off.
you know?
Yeah, he has monkey hearing.
It's better than our hearing,
okay, yeah,
probably.
you're probably right,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but so eventually he's like on the 4th floor, and she gets like his radio somehow. I guess because she has Roddy McDowell's radio and can radio people.
No, she hacks it. She's a sweet hack.
Oh, that's right.
To
Yeah.
Okay.
flip it to his frequency. And he's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing on my frequency?
But once again, instead of immediately relaying the pertinent information of holy fucking shit, killer monkey,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, Gary, what's up?
Yeah.
The game's over. And he's like, what?
Game's
She's like,
not over.
She's like, well, don't go to the 5th floor. And he's like, okay.
Oh,
what?
okay.
Yeah, all right, I won't go to the 5th floor.
Yeah,
And she's
whatever.
like, well, where are you? And he's like, I'm in the elevator, and I'm going. Fine, I'm going to do what you said. I'm going up to 6.
Yeah.
And instead of saying like anything pertinent about what to watch out for, you hear ding, and Shakma kills him in the fucking elevator.
Shakma's hitting the button
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
He's like, buttons.
He's
He's on 4 going up to
Shakma!
6. Shakma's on 5 and has hit the button, so the elevator
He's
gets
hit
to
both of
5.
them. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
catching it either way
Yeah.
it's going.
Yeah.
So the elevator just goes ding, and the door opens. He's like, huh.
Yeah.
And then just monkey shot out of a fucking cannon. Just boom.
Yep.
Down goes Gary.
Yeah. Gary, once again, elevator kill.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Shakma face rip. He's done.
Yeah. I don't think she ever even mentioned Killer Monkey on the Loose.
No, she's just like,
No, it was
do
just
not
like,
go to
just go to the 5th floor.
Just the game's over.
Just come up to
go to
6.
6.
Come to
And
the faculty lounge.
And that's the thing is she's finally convinced him. But Shakma had better plans for that guy.
Yeah, he had other ideas.
But Shakma had other plans.
Yeah.
If there's one PSA I want everyone to take away, if you're ever in a killer monkey situation, relay pertinent information first.
Probably smart.
I probably need an acronym or something.
I don't know how to break this to you, but there's a fucking crazy Shakma on the loose.
Yep.
RPIF. Relay pertinent information first.
Okay.
Yes. We'll,
That's it.
We'll create an ad campaign.
Yes.
We'll get a nonprofit going.
RPIF? RPIF.
RPIF.org. We'll make a training video.
Yeah. We'll have some scauses. They'll be like blood red,
Yep.
dripping.
Some what?
Yes.
Scauses.
Yeah.
Scauses for the causes.
The ribbons.
Ah.
The bracelets.
The little Lance
Is that what they're
Armstrong things.
called?
Yeah. Scauses.
South Park.
joke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Scott.
yeah, but I could see the PSA.
South
just,
Park people.
don't let Shakma happen to you.
Yes.
Don't
Relay
get
pertinent
Shakma.
information first.
Yes.
Be prepared when you open an elevator door. You
Wait,
might get shot.
Look, I'm just.
Can you imagine if you lived your life waiting for every elevator door expecting a Shakma?
Hey, in Orlando, Florida.
Jesus
apparently
Christ! Why
it's
did you
possible.
say that? I'm going to be doing that for the rest of my life.
I just ruined your life, didn't I?
A lot
just
of people
did.
are going to get kicked at work tomorrow.
That door's going to be open. Attention, Shakma! Get the fuck away from me!
All right.
And it's going to be thanks to you, buddy.
I see.
Thanks
I
to
see
you.
at a good and bad situation here because number one, I hate the people that try to rush onto an elevator without seeing if anyone's coming out.
Those
at
people
first.
need to get fucking
They're
kicked.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Shakma.
they're going to get
They're gonna
Shakma because
Shakma.
I'm going to have a knife ready for Shakma every time the doors open, and when they come running in, they'll be like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" I'm like, relay pertinent information first, and then just walk away.
I'm just
So
going to.
now every elevator, when I'm outside, when I hear the ding and the door's about to open, I'll be like, no Shakma's here. But then the guy inside will be like, That's Shakma trying to trick me, isn't it?
That's exactly what Shakma would say.
Was that Gary Busey? I can't tell.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lead out the door with my foot. Like, I'm just going to stand as close to the door as possible, and as soon as there's space for my foot to come out of it, I'm going to swing.
Better safe than sorry. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Just,
So
don't
if there
get
is a Shakma situation, it's going to get kicked up into the ceiling tiles.
Well-
If not, somebody's going to get their just desserts and get a foot
I think
to
we
the
can
nose.
all learn something from Shakma. Just take the stairs.
yeah.
It's better for you in all ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
You got
This is
Apple
all
Watches
news you
coming
can
out. You're
use
going to
right
need
here.
to get
This
your
is-
steps.
Yeah,
So-
get the steps on.
So yeah, she gets killed.
Yeah.
Right?
She gets chased into the bathroom
Okay,
like
yeah.
3 times.
She makes some bad strategic decisions.
Shakma fucks with her
oh yeah.
because he does his door smack thing
Yeah.
for a while. Is that the one where they get the really good shot of him just headbutting the door over and over
he
and over?
is
and
going
over and
after
over?
her big time.
Yeah.
Like because like before, there's like 10 minutes of her and Christopher Atkins fucking around on the same floor because she hides in like a Rolodesk of some sort.
Yeah.
And
Because the
he's-
door locks behind her.
Yeah.
Somehow the door that she was able to easily get through before.
Yeah, but then she's hiding.
What was the reason for them even fucking with him at this point? Like, what were they? Were they,
They
trying to
were
lure
trying
him?
to save Richard.
Yeah,
Still?
Richard.
That was that whole.
I think they
Still?
saw his hand
But
move. Yeah,
But yeah, Shakma.
Yeah.
This is now?
She
The thing
said
is-
she said she thought she saw his hand move
when the strobe light
when the
was going
strobe
off.
light went off because
Optical illusion.
Yeah.
yeah because she's dumb.
Yeah,
But anyway, Shakma got up to the 6th floor because
He rode
Gary
the
had
elevator.
hit the elevator,
Yeah.
and the elevator opened up on the 6th floor.
Okay.
yeah,
So Shakma went out there, and then she was like, "Oh fuck, Shakma."
yeah. She
He's like, "Yeah, Shakma."
she hides in a desk, and Shakma just starts ripping the boards off with his teeth, and Christopher Atkins is just wandering around like, "Hey, Shakma,
Hey,
Hey,
come get me.
I'm over here."
Yeah,
Come
that's
get
the
me.
part where Shakma's like, "No,
Yeah, it's like, no, she's right here.
I
I'm
know
gonna
what you're
get
doing.
her.
Don't even try it, buddy."
Yeah, and they're doing all kinds of like, you go over there and scream, and Shakma will come fuck your door while I go check on Richard,
Yeah.
and
That's all the pointless stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, and then she
Eventually,
goes to the
he's
bathroom.
made it up to the 7th floor, which is where the princess is, and he's like, "Hey, the game's over. Shit's got real."
Get the fuck out here.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
meanwhile,
like-
she's dressed inappropriately in like a gypsy princess outfit.
Right.
Yeah,
And she's
and
like,
she's like, "You didn't say the password."
It's like, get
He's like,
don't
"Fuck."
I look pretty?
He's like,
monkey.
"What the fuck?
We got
The
to
password
go.
is fucking Shakma."
Yes. Yeah. Yes. He's like, come with me now.
Yeah, and that's when they devise the plan to get Dick's girlfriend's attention.
Oh, good.
who's sitting
She's-
down in her car jamming out to like
She's out in her
the most
Geostorm,
generic
just listening.
It's
to
like- it's
80s
elevator Kenny G
elevator
music, yeah.
garbage. And so they're trying to throw forks and knives through the slats on the window.
yeah.
And so they keep showing the shot of her just sitting in the car jamming out.
Oh, she's
And
not even
you'll-
jamming out. She's just sitting there looking straight
Yeah.
forward. Like, I refuse to look towards the
And you'll
fork.
just see like a spoon fly by
Yeah.
and land on the
You
ground.
keep
next
saying
to her.
silverware just come so close to the car, and she's just not having any of it. And Christopher Atkins fucks off somewhere else, and then like Princess Girl finds one of the scrolls, and she's like,
Oh, yeah.
there's weapons in the couch." So she rips off the cushions of the couch, and there's a little pouch in there with little plastic crystal
Those
bullshit.
shiny rock shit
Yeah.
things.
Marbles.
Yeah. And she's like, sweet. And then she just takes all of those and just starts throwing each one out the window. And
Missing.
Eventually gets the chick's attention and is like flashing a flashlight at her.
Yeah.
And
she's like,
and the girl goes, "That fucking game," and
Yeah,
then
those
takes
kids.
off.
Takes off.
and then leaves.
yeah. So way to go. Way
So
to waste
yet
like
another
15 minutes
waste
of time.
of time.
Yeah. But anyway, like Christopher Atkins drags her off to
Well,
go
yeah,
do
they
something.
both get knives.
Yes.
They both take knives.
Well,
and then-
are
while he
we
leaves
skipping
her-
over the actual girlfriend getting killed?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just what's going on
Oh, all
during
right.
that.
All right.
Yeah.
And basically, the girl's up there, and she just once the car leaves, she's like, "Well, shit, I got to do something."
Right.
And writes a note, and then
Well, yeah,
vanishes
she's
for a while.
like, I write a note.
yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the girlfriend keeps
Whatever. Name
got stuck in the bathroom.
Yep.
Shakma
Tracy.
stops destroying the door.
Yes.
So of course she opens the door. Is like, I wonder where Shakma went. Oh God, Shakma! This happens like 2 or 3 times, and then finally Shakma. It's like she backs away from the door to, I guess, try and get a trash can to put in front
Well,
of it.
she's in one of those like little entryways. Like there's a door, and then there's another door into the bathroom. So she's like, if I can just get away long enough to get into this door.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as she takes the pressure off the door, Shakma's just like,
Now she tried to get loose an air vent.
well,
in one of the
after
stalls.
after she
First.
gets in. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, because then she goes back out and
Yeah,
it's
but like when Shakma busts through the door, she goes running back to the stall, slams the door, and starts going back for the air vent.
right.
You know, and Shakma just kind of like does this like running like baseball slide under the stall.
He does
gotta
the
admit-
wrestler diving into the ring thing
Yeah.
under the stall. He's just
I gotta admit, that's kind of a terrifying shot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
coming under that door, and he's like looking up wild-eyed, like, Shakma!
Yeah.
Taking a shit? Nope.
shock. Nope, taking a Shakma.
It's a good 2 minutes of her like clawing to get out, and then just sounds
Yeah,
of being
hers
torn
is
apart.
the least graphic, yet probably the worst.
Kind of the most
Yeah.
terrifying. But
Yeah.
Yeah, because then she gets a
Because it's
brief
just a
respite.
static shot of
The stall.
Yeah, like the stall. You
Yeah.
can see above the top of it. You can see the vent. So you see all of a sudden you see her arm reach up and grab it and come
And then-
down.
Yeah,
It's
she doesn't make it.
it's a
Like,
pretty
hey.
well done scene.
Hey, Christopher Atkins, I know you're not in the scene, but would you mind if I take out Beth? Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
yeah,
she's
she's dead.
dead.
And the
Yeah.
only two
And the
left.
other-
What's even better about it? Like she does that, like, oh god, I'm gonna die, and falls down.
Yep.
And then like has this one last. Like,
Yep. Just Oh. Yeah. Shocked
Ripped down to death.
Yeah.
So
Christopher Atkins and
doesn't know
Princess Girl. the
doesn't
only two
know
left.
she's dead yet.
No,
but
no.
like they're like,
No.
we got to go get her. And do they think anyone else is alive? No, they
No,
can't. think
he's
anyone.
found.
They have to like. It's now down to him and Princess Girl, and like
Yeah.
they have to assume everyone
And he
except for
gets-
Tracy is dead.
He gets downstairs to Roddy McDowell's office because I guess he finds the keys.
The
on
keys are in the
Gary's
elevator.
body, or yeah, in the elevator,
Yeah.
and basically gets to the office and calls 911, and then just sits there kind of shell shocked and doesn't know what to say.
No, that's after one more death.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because the girl goes down. She wants to find her brother.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he gets back upstairs, and she's left a note. She's like, "I've gone to find Richard," because again, he didn't relay pertinent information first.
Yep.
Right.
That, he
Well,
was just,
she even asked. She's
he was
like,
like-
"How's Richard?" And
he's
he
like,
just doesn't answer.
he's
listen.
fine minus a face and,
Yeah.
and a heartbeat.
Just go upstairs.
I mean, if he'd gone ahead and been honest, it
Yeah.
would have saved her life. Because this is like the movie's just like, yeah, she went down there to find Richard and went in the animal of the laboratory or whatever the guy was saying, and yeah, Shakma just fucking straight up murders her, like,
Okay.
off camera.
Hold on.
Hold on.
She walks in there, and there's a goddamn cat scare.
Oh,
Okay,
She
yeah.
walks into the animal lab, and a tabby cat just goes meow, and just like It's like, really?
They didn't even
Yes.
throw the cat at
No,
her.
cat just
Cat
strolls
just
by.
runs by her feet.
No. They do. They throw an animal on someone else later, but but yeah. So cat scared. She's like, oh, and then she
Well,
walks
this was
in.
right after she just seen her brother with like brother without a face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yep.
So I mean, her nerves were probably a little on edge.
Mm-hmm.
Not expect. To be fair, she knows there's a killer monkey running around. I don't think she's seen it yet, but
No. She
there
sees
is
it
a cat
soon
scare.
after.
Yeah, because like cat scare. She's like, whew, okay, cat scare. Then
Yeah.
Shakma,
Shock.
dead.
Shakma.
She's dead.
Yeah.
Straight up dead.
Wasn't
Like,
expecting
killed the
her to get
14-year-old.
killed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, she's done, and that's when he's.
So
like-
now it's just Christopher Atkins.
Yes.
Of people left inside
Well,
the building.
Yeah, and there's that shot of him going into that room, and they just focus on the door for like
A long
30
time.
seconds.
Does he find
45
her
seconds.
first or find girlfriend first? Tracy first. I don't
He finds
Yeah,
her
he finds
first.
Tracy first and throws her on the body pile.
No, I
But
think-
he carries her heroically.
It doesn't
Yeah, he
matter.
carries her out of the bathroom heroically.
Yeah.
Kisses her.
Right.
And then the next scene is probably or close to it is him carrying the other girl out.
Right.
Right.
And it
He
basically
doesn't kiss her, thank God.
he's like
Yeah.
laying them all in the stairwell. Like this will be their resting
Stacking them up
place.
like cordwood.
The
Yeah.
memorial stairwell.
He
of
keeps
this
moving
building.
them around.
Shock
Yeah, I don't-
Memorial. Shock Memorial.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like,
It's the stairway to heaven.
oh, Jesus Christ!
There it is.
Somebody put some sunglasses on.
Took a while to get there, but
Sorry.
you got there.
There it is.
Yeah. So it's just him and Shakma.
Yep. That's when he goes to call 911, and he just has like a dramatic acting moment of just like,
Well,
shock for like a minute, and then it's just
He had the
my
other
fault.
one when he found Richard.
Shakma.
When he found Richard,
He's like,
he's got. I can't even describe the face he has.
It's
But he holds
shock
just-
combined with nausea.
Yeah.
It's like and he just
so it's Shakna?
yeah, that's yep.
Okay.
So, man, he is. This is like the second time we think someone's going to vomit on a dead body, Richard's dead body.
We thought Roddy McDowell might too.
Yeah.
It seemed weird because like he was just cutting into a monkey brain earlier.
Yeah, which was totally fine, and
Yeah.
he'd already stuck his fingers into it. But yeah, so he has that moment, and then he finds his girlfriend, and he just flips the fuck out with his eyes in the bathroom, just like, fucking hell, Shakma, just what the hell? What are you doing, man?
But
These are my friends.
like he's basically gone comatose. He's almost vomited over Richard's body. Carried both women out to the stairwell.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Shakma's just like disappeared. He's like, whatever, dude, clean up after my mess. I don't care.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
it.
Goes back up to the 6th floor, calls 911.
Yeah.
Just sits there with the phone, deadpan, until finally he goes, "It's all my fault."
Yeah. And like, what? What was that? Because the dude is just over and over again introducing himself like,
I guess-
sir, this is Sergeant blah, blah, blah of the 911 force.
I guess he finally put together that he shot him full of the wrong serum or
Sure,
whatever.
whatever. But still, you
Who knows?
fucking call the police, man.
Yeah.
You can still say it's your fault,
Yeah,
but
you can
come
say,
get
hey,
this
we're
killer
locked in
fucking
the-
monkey.
Trust me, in 1990, they had, like, you could dial 911 and they still know where you are technology.
Yeah, which is why we thought how the movie was going to end,
Yeah.
but which it didn't.
No.
No.
But yeah, no,
So, yeah,
he
so
basically,
he-
off camera, goes through a gearing up montage.
Right.
Because why bother showing us that? Let's
Nah.
show us, like, people going through and locking doors and things like that. All
Well,
the exciting things in the movie.
Allow Shakma to fuck those doors.
There was like 3 minutes of like turning off breakers to set up the LARPing session.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wraps gauze around his forearms.
He makes gauze lens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does no good either. But
No
yeah.
good whatsoever.
And then he like straps a knife to a stick, which was the stick that he had the needle on.
I like knife stick.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
And he's
Plan.
just like, all right,
It's a pointy stick.
come at me, Shakma. He's got the kitchen knife in his belt.
yeah.
He's got the gauze
Should have had a
wrapped around.
banana in one hand and a pointy stick in the other.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is when he devises a plan to shock Shakma.
Right.
Because he's set up wires and then he's poured water on the floor. And then
Yep. He shocks the monkey.
there's a point where he's backing up into a room and you get a mouse scare.
Mouse scare.
The little mouse he'd been playing with earlier, one of the lab rats.
Jumps on his shoulder. Well, someone
where?
throws it at
Yeah.
him. But
From where?
I don't know. But man, this thing just like launches onto his shoulder
Yeah.
like, ah! And he's like,
Yeah,
oh,
the
all
little
right.
thing's like, Shakma.
yeah. He puts that thing in a cage and then it's like, I have an idea.
He uses him as bait.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Shock bait. Mm-hmm. Shock bait.
Which Shakma takes. He's like, hey, cool. A
Yep.
mouse in a cage. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And then
should write a
he
song about
hits
this.
the wires together. You
Despite
hear-
all my rage, I could eat that mouse in the cage.
Well, okay, Christopher Atkins is hiding under a table. Shakma walks into the room. Well, sneaks into the room because he's... this baboon is a pretty good actor when it needs to be because
Oh,
it
yeah.
is creeping around corners and peeking in and
Oh
it's like...
man, that one shot where they just show it peeking its head around the
Yeah.
corner. And it's like, hey,
Yeah.
what's going on in here?
But he comes over to the cage and he sees Christopher Atkins. He's just like, oh, you're up to something, aren't you? I'm just going to stand here and look at you because I don't know what you're up to. And that's when he jabs the wires together and you don't see him get shocked. But
No.
Yes, but he shocks the monkey.
yes.
Yeah, they could have at least like held a puppet in place and shook it or something.
Something. Put some of that.
No.
Put that 90s
you
electricity
just kinda
special
hear-
effects
you
on
just
it.
hear-
Cut, they,
just
yeah,
hear,
they cut away to the outside of the building with the lights flashing
Right.
on and off.
Yeah, and you hear like a
Or you could have made the floor
lava.
made a door up to look like the floor, and then just put the lady baboon on the other side.
Sure.
He would have done all the shaking himself.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. But suddenly Shakma's gone.
Yep.
So he goes out in the hallway. He's like, I'm going to get me a Shakma.
It's
just you and me,
Like
Shakma.
seriously, the rest of this is just like it's like let's pad the runtime because like he is just walking so damn slow.
Yeah, he's-
like where is the Shakma?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? This might be the point where he actually discovers the princess girl. It doesn't matter.
No.
But like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Eventually it ends up where Shakma attacks him.
Yes.
Yes.
Bites him
And
in the throat.
bites him in the throat. And he
Another really good
Yeah.
fluffy puppet thing.
And he's able to stab Shakma. And Shakma's like, well, what the fuck?
He's like, how dare you?
Yeah, and then kind of backs up. It's
like, I'll
and they're
be
kind of
back.
staring each other down. And that's when he actually growls and yells at Shakma. And Shakma's like, man, hey, that guy's crazy.
Wow.
I better get away from him.
I'm going to leave you alone for a second. You seem like you're working through some issues. But like Shakma he's ripped a hole out of his neck, which he didn't bother to gauze up.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter because the both wrists that he gauzed up have been torn into.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just bleeding from both of them. So now he's just a bloody mess staggering around trying to just finish this or whatever. And
Yeah.
he eventually
Yeah.
staggers back into the incinerator room and there's a mirror against the wall.
and he's
just-
staring at himself like, like, oh, the hubris of my stupidity.
Right.
And
Then he wanders back out, and you're like, what in the living fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
And Shock was like, oh, there you are. Okay, I'm going to come deal with you once and for all.
And his
And he's
plan,
just standing there smiling.
yeah, his plan is like he's just standing there smiling, and Shakma's like looking at him in the doorway, like, "All right, guy, I'm gonna fuck you up." And like we, the audience, have already kind of figured it out. But
Yeah.
he set up the mirror, and he's standing on the other side, and basically, I thought he was gonna like go through a window or something, but he busts through the mirror and straight into the incinerator.
Yes.
To which he slams the door down, and stands there for like 2 minutes and cackles at him.
He says,
Like,
game's over.
yeah,
And then flips the
I mean,
switch.
this baboon is going again ape shit inside the incinerator. And it's like, okay, I know this is a murderous like rage monkey, but at the same time, he's a murderous rage monkey because of you assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's just sitting there like, please just turn on the goddamn incinerator because
Yeah.
this is like a horrifying sound.
Again, I like sort of like man's best friend. I don't necessarily blame Shakma.
No.
He's not necessarily the bad guy here.
No, he's not.
No.
And then this asshole, maybe dies because he goes stumbling down the hallway and walks and is like,
He's got a swaggerish stumble.
well,
he's
he's
strutting his way down.
lost
the
some
hall,
blood.
stumbling around.
Yeah, he is.
and then
lost
he
some
like
blood.
trips on some gauze on the floor and is just like falls over and is like, I win.
Yep.
And then fade to black, and it looks like he's dying, but we don't actually get the satisfaction of watching him die.
Which is what we wanted.
Yes.
By that point, because fuck that guy.
Yeah, because it's all his fault, and he didn't know. In no way, shape, or form does he get to be the guy that lives.
No, absolutely not.
No way.
These movies generally,
No.
the guy who fucked up is usually the
Yeah.
first
Yes.
to die.
But yeah, they show a shot of
Literally,
his face laying on the floor. For
Everything
a
is
while.
his fault. I mean, this
Yeah.
stupid game is his idea, apparently.
I'm sure.
He was distracted and gave him the wrong drugs. It's literally all his fault.
Yep.
Yet at the very end, as they show his face laying on the floor, he smiles and says, "I win."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fade to credits.
Like,
Right.
that's a good ending. Like, good for you, guy. You saved no one. Your mistake got everyone killed, and you were just fortunate enough to be the last one to die.
Right. Yep.
Good
Yep.
job.
Now we rate it.
Yeah.
Do we?
We do.
We do.
I'll go first. I haven't gone first in a while. I think I can give this 2 jocks. Like, fuck the ending and like where this goes, because like, I mean, again, Shakma should have murdered. I mean, he was so close. Shakma needed to murder the rest of the people, especially the guy involved. I mean, honestly, the teenage girl should have probably gotten away because,
She was an innocent.
innocent, all of the horror movie staples, probably a virgin, all the things that like would work. It's like you're the one that gets away and she gets murdered too. And it's like, huh? I mean, so at that point you're already in and you're breaking the mold of like horror movie things, and then you let the guy whose fault it is maybe live. I don't know. It's that ambiguous ending, but yeah, Shakma at the end should have had an Atkins diet and murder that motherfucker.
Yep.
So yeah, 2 jocks, but despite that, all the like just watching the monkey just rip up doors, and I mean, there's a lot of stupid bumbling and stumbling and things where you're going to be yelling at the screen like, "What the fuck? Why are you going the wrong way?" and all that kind of thing. But it's the kind of dumb fun that can be fun in a group.
Yes. I agree with your 2 jocks rating. I give it the same. It does have a lot of padding, a lot of just slowly creeping down hallways and corridors. And kind of the worst part about all of that is that all of the hallways look exactly the same, like they had one floor and they just kept redressing it to make it look different. That gets really irritating because it messes with where you think your spatial awareness of where the movie is.
Yep.
And you're just constantly like, why is he over there? How did he get over there? What room is this? They all look the same. I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing happening special on the 5th floor, but like other than like the animal lab and you get the sign that said faculty lounge or whatever up on the higher floor,
Yeah.
which or wherever that was, 7th maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? But, like we were expecting at the end because of the 911 call and him being a bloody mess walking down the hallway that the cops would burst in and be like, hey, you killed all these people. Time to blow you away. That would have been okay because we would have been like, fuck that guy.
Incinerated Shakma. So
Yes.
there's no evidence.
Right. And now all the little bloody feet print would have maybe some enterprising detective might have been, maybe he didn't do it. Oh, well, close that case.
Too late.
But yeah, I mean, it's goofy. It kind of like it ramps up at the beginning because it's so damn goofy with everybody on board, and then it becomes just sort of slowly stalking around and everything, and then it kind of gets goofy again. But the strength of this movie is the intensity of that monkey baboon because like even just the scene where he just like it's late in the movie too, where he just goes back to the lab and he's just like fuck everything in this lab, fuck that thing and this over here and that cage, and they just said monkey go, and he was just like fuck everything. That's great. I mean, I could watch a bunch of movies with that kind of stuff in it. So.
I really want to know the inside story on the trainer and the monkey business.
Yes.
Of this, because that
The monkey shines.
yeah, because I mean, I know the one thing we know, we've repeated it a few times, is the lady monkey and heat on the other side of the door, but everything else is like just monkey doing things seemingly on command, like when he leans out, peeks out from the corner in the hallway. Like
Monkeys are pretty smart.
I know, but it's still like fascinating that you can go from like rage monkey headbutting a door to death to like
sneaking around,
clever ass sneaky monkey and
clever ass sneaky monkey.
clever ass sneaky monkey. CASM chasm.
Okay, keep going. Rate it.
Well, I'm still sort of unsure about my rating, but like.
Now's the time.
Yeah,
No
now's the
better
time
time,
to just
pick one.
throw a number out
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
That's what we do.
17?
Nope, that's not on the scale.
No.
Oh.
No.
What scale are we using today?
5
Kelvin.
dogs.
Oh, Kelvin. Oh, bad movie Kelvins.
Oh, I'm sorry. We just switched to the Bohr scale. That's how hard is this movie?
Ooh.
What?
700?
Yes.
I'm comfortable with giving it 2. I mean, it's not good. Like, I mean, it's not. It's not a good movie by any means. Everybody does dumb things like usual, but you could be a lot smarter about this movie, and
Yeah, you can get the fuck out.
the monkey. Well, I mean, you can be smarter. Like you can make your characters smarter and still like make it super scary to have this fucking monkey chasing them around because it's a scary ass fucking monkey.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
But still, like there's some glee in this. There's just some gleeful lunacy. Like really, it gets 2 jocks for monkey fucking the door. I mean, if nothing else, because there isn't really much that's redeeming, I don't think, about the rest of this movie.
Nah.
With the exception of maybe the spoons and marbles at the car sort of thing, because that's what I wanted. I wanted her to go, and just drive off. So like,
Yeah, but you gotta admire the weird Californian hippie computer nerd guy for really just committing to whatever weird ass character that was.
I don't know. Yeah, like I think he just came to the set stone, and they're like, "Oh, we'll go with it."
Probably,
he's
but
dying first anyway. So
he is not what you expected that dude to be like.
I didn't expect a dude like that in
Yeah.
Life.
Yes.
in this movie at all. So, but yeah, 2 jocks
Okay.
and 3 monkey shines. 6 Kelvin.
Yeah, I think I'd go with 3 jocks.
All right.
Actually, I had a lot of fun at just the quiet points of this movie, just going, Shakma.
Oh yeah.
And that was entertaining as hell to me, doing that. But man, just the rage of that frickin' baboon is... It can't be understated. Like,
Nope.
that thing goes fucking nuts. And like you said, that
Bananas.
one scene where it is just smashing up that lab. It's like, I don't know, like, what kind of command they gave him or what the hell happened. But, I mean, he is, like, just picking up cages and flinging them around the room and just... Like, you worried for its safety during this whole shoot.
Yeah.
Because that thing went nuts.
That one point where it was just headbutting the door.
Yes.
That was the one I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. This thing wants in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's so weird when you juxtapose that with like the TV sitcom lighting that's through most of this movie. Like in any scene where everyone's just sitting around talking,
Yeah.
it looks like it's a friggin', 3-camera sitcom bullshit.
It very much does. Yeah, the sets just look like some sort of workplace comedy.
Yeah.
Small wonder.
And then all of a sudden there's this friggin' monkey peeking around the corner and just even the scenes where he's not attacking things and he's just looking around like, oh, I'm gonna fuck something up. Like,
Yep.
it's great.
Yep.
I really enjoyed the hell out of it. It lost points because of the like just the circular bullshit time wasting stuff that
Yeah.
they do. That there's ways to make that stuff count, like to still do it and make that stuff count, and they don't do it right. You know, if the audience doesn't care about those things, then don't do them.
Yeah.
Because this movie feels like it's got an extra 20 minutes padded on it that you could have cut out, and you could have the same movie. So yeah, that's the only reason it doesn't go any higher. But I still really liked it. 3 jocks.
Cool.
Monkey shines.
All right.
All right.
What do you say? Break time?
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
All right,
Cool.
Neato.
Shakma.
Huzzah! Japan.
Shakma. My ears, they're sweaty. My ears.
My ears.
Mirrors.
Mirrors. Oh. All right there. Oh.
Old man grown.
My bones.
Is that a bone grown, Chuck? Yeah. Is that a bone grown? Yeah. All right.
You are right.
I got him to do one. What is it with bone grown?
I bet
You
nobody
ever
can
been
hear
like,
that.
my bones are all groaning?
Groany bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Christina Sausage Testel.
Thank you. It's pretty dumb. You don't have to take offense. I know. It's not my best character creation.
Jeez.
Time was short. Sausage tastier.
I think that's the character that broke us last time we tried to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was you going, yeah, I think I'll try that. I was going, oh my God.
Yeah. I wasn't feeling it. I apologize.
No, it was perfect for the character, Chuck.
Oh, super. I'm happy to do it then.
So, you got anything aside from the obvious 3? You got other stuff? Okay.
Yeah. It's all quick.
I know Harlow has the same 3 that you do. So
Harlow watched the movies I watched?
yeah, in one night.
Whoa. I did see him using his Blu-ray player, so I figured
Oh,
maybe that's
what,
what
his,
he's doing. On the Xbox
One, his Blu-ray,
Mm-hmm.
his Blu-ray.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going, Chuck?
Pretty good.
How you doing? How you feeling? How you living?
I'm living.
Living large?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hello? Hello? Oh God, I can't hear anything. What's wrong with me? Hello? Oh, there we are.
Shakma.
So, listening people of the live stream,
Listening people of the live stream.
got any questions, comments, concerns?
Yep.
Some hot, juicy gossip?
Now's the time.
Hot sip.
Before we start second half, now is the time. No? Nobody? All right.
Well, delay, Chuck.
Whatever.
Be patient. God.
Students are
Go.
students suck.
Dude, no good?
Kill them to death.
Shakma.
Shock! Another shocking April starts with Shakma of the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a no to the Russ Meyer movie thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
You couldn't share that audibly with the rest of the world? All right. I guess it would have been more of a delay than writing it.
Right.
True. Huh.
So,
So,
you got any extra stuff other than your 3?
Negative. Ghost Rider.
Just think. 24 hours from now,
Yeah, how's that for a time
Furious
warp
7
thing?
will be over.
Yep.
Like, right now, if you're watching the live stream, we haven't seen Furious 7.
Nope.
If you're listening to the podcast, which you wouldn't hear this part,
Nope.
we will have seen it.
Yes. Weird, huh?
That's nutty.
Spooky, almost. Spooky.
I'm looking forward to that movie.
Are you?
I think it'll be pretty good.
I couldn't tell.
That's no April Foolin', let me tell you.
I could not tell that you were worried about making it to that movie. That was like an actual concern you had. Well, I guess you could. Still
I was afraid. I have to survive tomorrow.
Okay.
I just
Yes,
have
you
to
were
survive
afraid you
tomorrow.
might
You
die.
should just take the day off.
I was afraid I might die.
Take the day off. I mean, really, it's just.
What if that's what does
Yeah.
it? What if breaking the routine?
What if you're the princess and you're like, man, I'm home free. I'm obviously going to make it out of this movie, and then Shakma, like you come to an elevator.
I will not go on a single elevator tomorrow. I can tell you that.
You
right
think
now.
you think Shakma only lives outside of elevators?
Yes.
Shakma's everywhere. Shakma's in our hearts, in the hearts and minds of every man.
I am Shakma.
Yeah. No, I am Shakma.
No. I am Shakma.
Man, I'd like to do a Fury 7 spoiler cast, but I don't think that's in the cards.
Yeah, well, that'll just be the second half when we get there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the review Into the Woods, but I stick by my story wholeheartedly. I'm sorry. Hey, not every movie's for every person.
And-
Everything I say on here is an opinion, and if I ever make it sound like I'm telling you fact, I'm just full of shit.
Yeah.
That's my new disclaimer. That and relay pertinent information first.
RPIF.
Yeah, RPIF. I'm getting a SCAWS.
Also, everyone, please check out my Shakma tribute band that will be playing Saturday night, ShakmaCon.
Steve, like the bird heron, I'm not sure you're old enough that we could legally give you a box of porn.
Yeah, no, dude. No.
Sorry. I mean, besides,
LTB
internet.
is...
You're like the girl in the movie, underage.
Wait, I think... Is LTB 18?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm guessing.
He can answer that.
If you were 18,
Only-
maybe we could give you a box of porn.
There's some RICO cases where you transport porn over state lines. And
What?
Is that Suave?
Were you involved with some RICO cases?
no. What?
Are you sure?
Let's talk about the second half.
Yeah, and Musum there's asking, what do we think about Fury 7 being not directed by Justin Lin and by,
James Juan?
the Insidious guy.
Tell you when it's
Saw
over.
guy.
Yeah, exactly.
The trailers seem to show that, it
Everyone
is
involved,
maintaining the same.
Vin Diesel and everyone
ridiculousness.
has basically said, if you were worried, don't be.
Yeah.
It's a Furious movie.
Who said that? Sorry?
It's people involved. They're like,
yeah.
if you're worried,
Yeah.
like, don't be. It's
I'm already hearing, like, from the people who have somehow seen it already.
well, yeah.
They've been-
It was
Preview
South by
screenings all week.
Southwest.
South by-
they
yeah.
showed.
Well, they've preview screening started this week. Started Monday.
Yeah.
Just didn't.
Yeah, and the
here.
one that we registered for was tonight.
Oh, so I guess we didn't win.
Nope.
Fuckers.
Why didn't you tell me I didn't win? My mind is already has been there
Oh.
the entire night.
Oh,
Waiting.
How is it?
Oh, it's fucking great.
It'd be over, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If we saw it at 7 o'clock. So
I have two movies that are not also some of the same movies that you saw.
okay.
So
Hey, look, if people come to Fury 7, we give them the box of porn, we won't transport it. That's different, right? Then they take it upon themselves. We become less liable.
I don't want to
Do you
discuss
still
any of
even
this.
have that?
You don't have
No,
that.
You have plenty more boxes of porn. Don't
I
lie.
do not, for the record, have any pornography. None.
None.
It's gross.
None whatsoever.
Plus, it's all
I
streaming
have
on the
all
web
of them.
somewhere.
I know, seriously. We all have the internet. Why would we need
I
boxes of
missed
porn?
the boxes just for dramatic readings of the back.
Well,
of the
sure.
boxes.
Some of those stories were pretty good.
It's too bad we were. Well,
I have a
there might
train
be some
caller.
issues with the live stream on some of those covers, but I mean, it's too bad we don't have this that kind of bullshit. The things we used to do when we didn't never
Oh,
put
yeah.
them anywhere.
yeah. Right. Well,
Well, I could read from my composition.
Wait, you have some like you
no,
saved?
he's just
No,
going to
no, I
read
can
notes
just
that
read.
he wrote
Oh no.
1,000 episodes ago.
I could
But
read
that-
things
that
like
was-
Angry Snake
Sure.
and Sweet Jeep Count of 2.
You don't take notes anymore, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't
also-
either. I used to
I
take
also have-
notes during every episode, but then I realized I was spending more time looking at my phone writing than I was watching the movie.
Yeah,
and
that was part
I
of the
didn't
problem.
like that at all.
So if you can guess,
Go on.
if you can guess this, I will send you a thing. Which movie it's from?
All right.
Angry Snake, Sweet Jeep times 2, and 4 gratuitous Hooters.
Or
Hard ticket to
And-
Hawaii.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it's got to be.
Send it to us.
That's not the, okay. Yeah.
Send
Oh,
us
were
a
we
thing.
not supposed to play?
I will send you guys. I'll send you to a thing. Then.
You didn't put Razor Frisbee. Razor Frisbee is
Razor
nowhere
Frisbee.
in there.
Frisbee.
I didn't think we needed to write that down.
Oh, okay.
It is pretty memorable. Wait, Angry Snake.
Angry Snake.
It was early in the movie.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right. Remember, we didn't know the snake
Yeah.
was going to burst out of that toilet. Like, pah!
Yeah.
Cancer snake.
God, Cancer Snake.
So true.
So good. Why didn't that dude escalate his movies? Why did he start so strong?
That's a good point.
Because maybe he's a firework.
Oh.
A stack of teats. Sven Batman. I don't remember either of those things.
These are great out of
Yeah,
context.
this is pretty
This
good.
Keep going.
Yeah, yeah, please. I've enjoyed this. Go.
Enlighten me.
Yeah, give us some more.
He respects the brave way you confront your disability.
Okay.
Oh God, what was that?
Half electric asshole.
God, what
these are
is
so
that?
these are so much better.
Oh,
now.
that's going to drive me crazy now.
You want me to tell you? You have to rescind your acceptance of the thing.
That's fine. Tell me.
More thing for you.
Space truckers.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Half electric asshole.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Boy,
Should've
that was-
remembered
Is
that
that
was like
the, is
episode
that the same
100.
movie
Yeah.
as the I respect the brave way you
Yes.
Yeah.
deal with your? Yeah. Okay.
Head dinosaurologist.
Oh.
And ninja grid.
That's got to be Tammy and the T-Rex.
It's Theodore Rex.
Oh,
Ah.
How did we
Son of a
forget
bitch
that?
dinosaur.
oh, that son of a bitch. Fucking idiot dinosaur.
Hey, let's talk about movies.
Wearing a Cosby sweater does not count as undercover.
Oh, he was totally undercover.
No, he was never.
Wearing like a sombrero.
He was the PR guy. Fuck. Let's do the second half.
Don't start.
Theodore.
Real quick, one more. Fuck this movie.
That's a long list.
Is that the
Yeah.
Eden formula?
It's rock and rule.
Oh, accurate? Yes. Yes.
Bunch of angry Canadians like, no, Canadian animation.
Slow animation is best animation.
And then
Fuck this
okay,
movie.
one more.
Okay.
More like fuck Turner, am I right? For obviously Truck Turner.
Really?
I thought it was Slaughter.
Yeah.
More like fuck Turner.
He does have the sex in that movie,
Yeah. He has a bevy.
and he traces skips.
Skip Tracer. Private Eye.
All right, so we ready?
Yeah. Please to be pushing the button, and then we will start.
You're so not going to make it.
Yeah, look at you, fancy lad.
It's going to go terribly.
Ready?
All the shells are going to fall.
What's wrong with my hands? All right, welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Second half.
Second half of this here podcast.
All right.
All right.
Let's talk about movies.
Okay.
That we have seen.
Good luck.
Yeah, go ahead. I haven't watched shit.
All right.
Neither have I. I do have an
five.
update. Woo.
Oh, update.
All right.
What's your update?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
give us
guess
your
I'll go
update
first.
now.
Yeah. Get it out of the way.
Okay.
Because then I can ease off the anger for the rest of the half.
Okay.
So I have finally come to a decision on The Last Man on Earth.
Nice.
What do you think of him?
2 more episodes appeared on Hulu,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, okay, well, I'll give them a shot.
Mhm.
And I watched the first of those 2 episodes, and I thought, oh man, maybe they're finally turning this thing around. Like the episode previous to that just left me with a bad feeling, as I expressed last episode. And this one, like I said, they turned it around, and I don't really know if I want to spoil anything or not, and it doesn't really matter because I don't remember much about the episode anyway.
All right.
But it was more of that, like, this guy's his initial instinct is to be a dick, but he finally is starting to see that that's wrong, and he's going to try to overcome it.
Mhm.
And he realizes that that's going to tear things up, and he's going to, like, maybe the rest of this will be him just trying not to be a dick. Because you can still have a lot of fun with the premise of this without somebody just being a complete and utter asshole.
Right.
And then the very next episode, they just go right back to that he's a complete dick for no reason, and for no reason that will actually benefit him either. So they just dove right back in that well, and
Are you out?
I'm out.
Okay.
Even though there are funny moments in that show, and I think there's some good, and I think Will Forte is doing well with his role. Like I think he's acting well throughout it. It's still, the writing is just so it's not quote unquote bad writing. It's just writing a shitty thing, like writing shitty people.
Gotcha.
And it frustrates me, and I would really rather watch, this guy struggling with having been who he is, like, because when you start the series, he's been by himself for a while, like long enough to traverse the entire United States. So, like, I'd rather it be the journey of him, like, unlearning the bad habits that he's learned over the last couple years, not him just being a fucking asshole because he's selfish, Like, I'd rather it be maybe more of an internal struggle and less of a just being shitty for shitty's sake, and then backing off of that for the next episode, and then going right back to it. I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with that. So
good. There's better ways to spend your time.
There are.
Yeah.
So and if somehow they sort of fix that about the show, someone feel free to let me know, and I will give it another shot. But I'm not putting any more time into it.
They could give it a Parks and Rec kind of situation, because I remember that I jumped off the first season, and then everyone has told me, like, at the end of the first season, they, like, right the wrongs of that show and make it good.
Basically, they stopped trying to make it The Office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which is why I stopped watching. I was like, I don't need another Office. This is not what I want. So.
And they're, like, there are other people in the show because they're being talked about, and it's easily discoverable. But Kristen Schaal is good. Betty Draper, surprisingly, does some acting. A little bit, not very much. Granted, it's not like it's more than Betty Draper. It's
that's not hard.
No, but it's hard for her.
Well, yes.
So
it is.
I have to applaud that.
I saw that X-Men movie, and it's definitely not easy for her.
So yeah, she shows she at least tries to convince us that she's not a dead robot.
Okay. Dead robot.
Yeah, and the guy, I can't remember the guy's name because I haven't looked it up yet, and I never knew what his name was to begin with.
But you like that guy?
Yeah, the other guy that's in there in the show right now.
Awesome.
Good acting, funny, good timing for these characters. Just bad motivation for Phil.
I get you.
For Phil. Anyhow.
Oh well.
Right.
I'm out. Fuck that show for the time being.
Okay. Well,
good night.
We'll keep you posted if the internet says it's good now.
Thanks, internet. I'm counting on you.
Okay, so we have some movies in common if we watch some franchisee things. So, did you watch anything else besides that?
I did not.
Okay, let me get two things out of the way before we dive into that conversation.
Okay.
All right. So last week I said I was going to probably dive back into old Jackie Chan movies.
All right.
So I did that. I got the original Hong Kong cut version of Police Story. I was like, well, that's a good place to start because there was a whole bunch of those, and it's the 80s, and so let's watch that. And so I start watching it, and I'm watching it with the original language and everything, so it's not just the worst dubbing you've ever heard that sounds so terrible.
Oh, the best were the early ones, like Fearless Hyena and stuff, where Jackie Chan was suddenly like a little British schoolboy. Those were my favorite. Like, but grandfather, I don't want a train anymore.
No, these were all just like
subs, not dubs.
Midwestern, the whitest of white people doing the. I listened to the English dub for a second and was like, no. So I'm watching Police Story, and it like gets to the first big action thing, and it's like 10 minutes of gunfights, and I'm like, man, I remember this not being that. I remember this movie being awesome. And then, holy God, they just launch cars through a shanty town, and I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. How did I forget this happened? And then, like, that movie has like 45 minutes of junk in it, of like story that who gives a shit. But man, there are just like 4 sequences of action in that movie that are better than anything else ever put on film ever. Just like how everyone didn't die is a miracle. Like all those stuntmen should be dead, wheelchairs.
They are.
They have to be. There's just it's just unbelievable. It was like when I was watching Bad Boys 2 and I was sitting there with my mouth just wide open, just like, holy God, how is this? This is the best. It's that kind of just, oh my God, that guy just got killed. Oh, what? How is, it's just, it's been so long since I watched these. I've forgotten how vastly different they are from the action movies that we are used to. Mm-hmm. And it's so refreshing to go back to them after a long period of time and just get that sensation back, not expecting it, but then just watching it unfold and just be like, Jesus, like.
Well, there's that sense of danger that it's like they didn't, like there's no CG faking any of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's that sense of holy fuck, like how did nobody die?
Yes, and they're showing stunts, and like you will see Jackie Chan fall like 3 stories through a gazebo of some kind, and Jackie Chan then gets up and starts fighting dudes, and you're just like, how is he not dead? Mm-hmm. He should be dead.
I need to borrow that movie from you.
It's a pretty good Blu-ray. It's got Police Story 2 on it also, so I need to watch that.
So
after you've watched that,
did you find somewhere that you can buy like Blu-ray? Because I know most Blu-rays are region free, right?
Shout Factory is putting out the uncut Jackie Chan stuff. So yeah,
excellent.
There's a bunch of double feature discs. So I've been snapping those up when they go on sale.
Nice.
Then, like over the weekend, I wanted to watch Inherent Vice because yeah. I didn't because I had The Master on our DVR, and we were like, we should probably watch The Master first. Not that they're related or anything, but let's just keep up with our Paul Thomas Anderson. Mm-hmm. I've thought about ways to say this. It's not just that I don't like The Master. I think The Master is garbage. I think it is.
Wait.
Wow.
I wanted to dance around it for a while because the acting is fine. It is shot like a movie. I mean, it is competent, and it is filmed by a person who obviously understands cinema and everything. But that movie, like when it was over, I was so angry, like at just this jacking off on screen that this movie is of just. It's like when Kevin Smith was so pissed off at Magnolia, which I never understood because I love Magnolia. I think Magnolia is fascinating to watch. But he thought that was the most pretentious piece of shit he ever saw. I kind of feel that way about The Master. What on earth was the point of that movie? It's like, and you read reviews and people are like, this is cinema. I don't know what it means yet, but it is cinema. And I'm just like, if you can't put into words what you think that movie is about, fuck off. It is. I mean, I get art is supposed to make you think, and it's supposed to challenge you and everything, but the movie's not art. It's pretentiousness. It's the same thing that Punch Drunk Love is. It's just people saying and doing weird shit. It's uncomfortable scene after uncomfortable scene.
Well, that was my problem with it. Was too obtuse. Like, okay, I get it, multiple layers, different meanings for things.
Yeah.
But when you have too many layers to everything and everything symbolizes something else, eventually you need a through line that actually means something straightforward to lead you into that. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just guessing at everything. Mm-hmm. Because if everything symbolizes something, it stops making sense. And that movie, it's too much work.
Yes.
What was my feeling is it was too much work. And
yep. My problem with a movie like that is it's uncomfortable to watch initially. Like it's not fun to watch. And maybe you can dig sub layers and subtext, but on the surface you can't tell what it is. Mm-hmm. Like I mean it's like, am I supposed to be enjoying this? Is this supposed to be coherent? Mm-hmm. My favorite movies that I would consider cinema are the things that you can watch one time and it makes sense. And you're like, that's pretty good. And then you can go back and watch and go like, oh, I didn't pick up on that, and I didn't pick up on that. But on the surface, it was fine almost as a popcorn movie. Mm-hmm. Maybe it could be a little deeper than that. But I'm thinking of like Terrence Malick movies. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can watch a Terrence Malick movie and go like, that was a thing. I got it. And then you can go back and watch it and like, oh, actually, yeah, there's a lot of symbolism going on here and things like that. But they're not a slog or like soul crushing like watching The Master for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, like that makes me have no desire to go back and watch it a second time.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to use like the peeling of an onion thing, but like when you watch a movie and it's over for the first time, you go, huh, that was pretty good. It had this and that, and I like that, and I would be interested in seeing that again. This was just like, I couldn't delete it fast enough. It was just like, get the fuck out of my house with this.
Yeah, and it's like,
I made it through the first scene on Inherent Vice, and I felt like it was maybe going to go the same way.
No,
I mean,
yeah, I didn't. We did not watch Inherent Vice. We were just like, you know what? Now distance from this, please.
yeah. I mean, like maybe it's the way it looks, and it's like it's Joaquin Phoenix again, and I'm like, no, I'm not. This is not the mood I'm in right now.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the same weekend I went and watched the other stupid things I watched that I hated so much. So I was doomed. I was just it was in my tarot cards of that day. You were going to watch a movie you're going to fucking hate.
Yeah,
it's going to be one of these.
And I mean, I in no way want to imply that I think Paul Thomas Anderson is a bad filmmaker. He's not. He's absolutely not. Because Hard 8, Boogie Nights, and Magnolia will forever be movies that I can watch a million times. But everyone has off days. Sometimes movies don't come together. Spielberg made Hook. Spielberg's fucking amazing, but he's made some movies that are just like, I can make excuses for this, but it's not very good. The Master's not very good. It's just not. So,
There Will Be Blood. Do you like that one?
I do.
Okay,
yes.
okay. Just
Yeah.
all right, yeah.
So it's not like he made Punch Drunk Love and then went insane,
Right.
and I didn't appreciate him anymore. I
need to watch
and-
Punk Drunk Love again because I saw it once. I didn't like it, but it's still in the era of like I was liking what he was doing.
Right.
But again, I felt the same way. It was just like it was people mumbling and bad things happening.
Yeah, it's people saying and doing things that you're just like, why are you saying and doing that? You're not making any sense. So, but yeah, man, I don't know what I was expecting out of that movie, but man, what I got. So,
Nope.
yeah. So then we just watched a bunch of dumb
Yeah, I was
shit.
going to say, you want to talk about
Yes.
movies you watch
Yes.
and you get exactly what you expect?
Yes, please.
Oh, let's do that.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you only took 2/3 of my journey. I sat down last night and marathoned the prep movies, as I call them, for Fast and Furious 7. I watched Fast 5, Furious 6, Fast and Furious 6, whatever the hell we're calling it, and Tokyo Drift in that order.
Okay.
Hey, that's what I did last week.
I did more than that
Oh, did you?
because I'd only ever seen 1
Uh-huh.
and a version of 4.
Okay.
I'd never seen 2 or 3.
Oh,
And I had not seen any of them since seeing Fast 5 and Furious 6.
okay. Well, do tell from the beginning.
Okay, so my complaint against the first movie was always street racing bullshit, male posturing, I'm in your face, come at me, bro, tuna fish sandwich, I'll punch you, that kind of nonsense.
Sandwich crazy.
Yeah. That movie now is watchable because of Fast 5 and Furious 6, because it's this kind of quaint little look at these characters who will become superheroes in the future and hit each other with wrenches and and fly cars through the air and do crazy shit. It's ultimately just Point Break and other movies like that, but not as good. So it's neat watching those characters.
And man, that one scene where Vince is hanging off the side of the truck while he's getting shot at, you see it's the actual actor.
Yeah.
That stuff's pretty good.
Yeah. There's some
And then
some
where Paul
quality,
Walker realizes he has to break his cover.
Yeah. There's some quality
Brian.
stuff in that. But yeah.
But yeah, otherwise that movie
It's
it has not held up.
no,
in my
it's-
opinion. It fetishizes a culture that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And Paul Walker's hair is stupid in that one. Like there's a flashback.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of 6 where they're like,
Oh, right.
let's show you everything that's happened in the movies in like
Yeah.
3 minutes. And like they were showing back his hair back then. I'm like, wow, we had stupid hair.
It's funny though, when he first walks into the house, all the crew's like, he's dreamy. Look at his hair. So-
I know. It's just, yeah.
No, I know.
Now it's like, oh,
Yeah.
really? What's wrong with your hair?
So then it was my first ever viewing of Too Fast, Too Furious,
Oh.
which I didn't know what to expect because, I knew it was like, okay, most of the cast said, nah, and Paul Walker is like, put Paul Walker in a different situation. But then it was like, all the characters I love from Fast 5 are in this. And they're all pretty good. Tyrese, I think, is the best addition to that franchise because he is so happy to be there.
Yep.
He is having so much fun. And Eva Mendes, I enjoy her in anything, pretty much. Cole Hauser as like a smarmy bad guy. It had a plot. It wasn't just street racing bullshit. There's something more going on here. and I found it entertaining. And it has that dumb stunt at the end where they somehow launch onto a boat.
Yes.
I still don't quite understand the physics of how that happened, but knowing what I know about future entries in the series, I don't care.
And that garage had 300,000 cars in it?
Sure. Why not? Why not? So I enjoyed Too Fast, Too Furious.
Okay.
Then I watched Tokyo Drift.
Oh, so you were going in like movie release order?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd already seen 5 and 6, so I didn't really have to do it that way. But so I sit down and watch Tokyo Drift for the first time. Man, that movie had an uphill battle from the start because it's just douchebag high school idiots being destructive and stupid, and it just... The saving grace of that movie is all the Han stuff. Everything else is just like... I get why they hired the kid from the X-Files movie.
Sling Blade?
Yeah. He's got the look for that kind of movie, but as soon as he opens his mouth, it's like, you know what? Nicolas Cage wouldn't commit to that silly of an accent. And I know that's his natural accent.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he's really trying.
I know, but why it hasn't been softened over the years to just like, you don't need to be that Alabama-y, you know?
He's keeping it real, man.
Well, whatever.
Don't even.
It just, every time he opened his mouth, I was just like, oh, dude, you sound so bad. So
they had to play the fish out of water.
I know, but he didn't have to be a
it.
southern fish out of water. He was just an American over there, which apparently the whole school was filled with Americans.
They use a fish and grits out of water.
So I didn't like Tokyo Drift at all. I thought the Han stuff was like remarkably foreshadowy.
Yeah, like, okay, did you watch 5 and 6 again, or you've seen?
I've watched through 5. I'll watch 6 tomorrow, but
okay.
I got through 5 today.
Well, I mean, all right. So I kind of 5. We talked about 5 to death. We're done there.
Yep.
6. It was like as I started watching it, I remembered more of it than I thought I did, because for some reason I was like, I need to watch this again because I think I've forgotten too many things. As soon as it started, I was like, oh yeah, I remember all this now.
Yeah.
It was weird. But Tokyo Drift was definitely the one I remembered the least, so I knew that I needed to watch that before, because this is technically the last movie now in chronological release, or in the movie's chronology.
Yes.
It's the last movie of the series.
Correct.
If you watch the movies, you'll know why. But yeah, it's like it immediately watching it, I was like, did they really know where they were going with this back then? Because like,
I don't think so.
Because
I think they just retrofitted it to work.
It ties in so well.
It really does.
Like, I mean, to the point that I'm like, really? Because like, it's going back. It's a silver Mercedes that crashes him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they were careful enough to get that again.
Yeah.
I mean, down to that. I mean, I know you can go back and watch the movie and be like, well, we got to tie it in, and get all the details, but there's so many little things that they say and do. It's like, I feel like they knew where they were going.
I think they were sufficiently vague with it to where they never committed to giving that guy an official backstory.
Sure.
But what they gave him fits perfectly, because he's
I
just
have
like,
money.
You have money, but you seem sad. What's wrong?
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, you know the movies with the cowboys where they ride off into the sunset and they go their separate ways, and
This is
you know,
my
it's
Mexico.
It's like, holy God, this is
Yeah.
what that you guys had some foresight. This is insane.
Yeah, it's like it plays off really well watching it right after 6.
Yeah.
Like remarkably well. And then it's just like, it's strange to go back and hear fucking Kid Rock and shit. And it's like, okay, this is messing with my brain a little bit, because
Yeah.
like we were practically dubstepping a second ago, and now we're ball with ball, ba-dang, ba-ding.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
okay, so I to defend Tokyo Drift, I actually kind of really like Tokyo Drift.
Okay.
It helps when like halfway through the movie I realized it's Karate Kid Part 2, like almost beat for beat. Like if like he'd met Mr. Miyagi for the first time in Okinawa, and other than that, it's like Han is his Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's kind of remarkable, and like when you start to like look at the similarities. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, it's just I didn't have a problem with the movie. It's just, it was fine. I mean, I hate to go with like your definition of it, but it's like
you're allowed. It's an acceptable term.
like I
you
actually
have distorted it.
maybe I need to go back and watch the first one again. I think I like it better than the first one. I think it's more fun. I think
I do easily.
the stunts are better. Like the driving stuff is better, and it's definitely better than 4. I mean, 4 is just. I mean, other than in starting the chain of like the actual series we're in now, like if it started with 4, sadly,
Yeah.
you know, like you could pretty much cut the first 3 off and then you'd be fine. other than like just like accepting that like Tyrese and Ludacris are going to show up and they know him, and other than that, and Han, just like here's some friends we called in. You really don't need like their whole backstory.
Yeah,
but 4 is where it started, but it's weak. Like it's just
it has so much CG bullshit,
Yeah.
and they do the chase through the tunnels multiple times,
Yeah.
which is like don't do that.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Give us a new setting.
Yeah. I gave 4. This was like the first legitimate shot I gave 4. And like 4 starts with just the ridiculous gas truck stealing thing.
Right.
And that is pure Fast 5, Furious 6 stunt shit going on. And I'm just like, man, is this movie not what I remember it? Because this is awesome. But then it never does anything like that again.
Yeah.
But again, in retrospect, watching that movie, it's watching all the pieces move into place is fascinating.
Sure.
Like, Han's there in the beginning stealing gas. And, he's like, well, maybe I should go see what's going on in Tokyo. And you're like, no, don't. It's like, hang out, go to Rio. You're going to be needed there. Just watching all of the pieces move back into formation and knowing where it's going after that. It almost feels like kind of necessary. But, man, the timing of that movie is so weird because, like, I didn't remember them killing off Michelle Rodriguez that early in the movie. And when they did do it, I didn't know who had died for like 10 minutes. I was like, who's dead? Is it like a cousin? Is someone's mother dead? Who's dead? Because they say her name one time, and they show an out-of-focus picture of her, but it's just weird and confusing. And then he has that weird CSI flashback where he's standing in the street, and somehow the wreck materializes around
The
him.
emergence of his superpowers.
It's his origin story.
This was the first time I watched the actual extended edition of Fast 5.
Yeah. Which is what I watched today for the first time.
It is 5. Was them breaking him out of the prison bus part of 4?
4 ends with them driving up.
So
to,
was that in? Because I didn't flip back to the theatrical version. Did it actually start that way in
Yeah.
Fast 5 normally?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's like we're about to do a badass stunt, and then they kind of cut away from it. I mean, they show the bus kind of roll over, but then it's like, all right, we got him out, and all's good. Bye. Like it was just like it was weird. Like
4 is them driving up, preparing to do the shit that they do, and then it goes to credits.
But to go back, I mean, I don't know. We can open up this can. Why not? We have time. It's our show. I will go back and go with you. I can now, having watched it again, say unequivocally that Fast 5 is easily the best action movie of the last 10 years. I may even entertain 20.
I would have to look at a list, but it's definitely a strong candidate for that same sentence.
It has 2 of the greatest action sequences. It starts and ends with 2 of the greatest action sequences ever. I mean, I know there's like a little like happy with the day is saved kind of thing at the end of Fast 5, but the train thing early in the movie, stealing the cars, and the safe thing are just 2 of the best things ever.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I could easily say it'd be in the best movie of 20 years if somehow don't get me wrong, watching Vin Diesel and The Rock fight for the first time was awesome.
Amazing.
But when you see the fist fights in 6, and you're like, if they could have made that shot and done as well in 5, hands down, no contest.
It's still pretty fucking good.
Because the fist fight in the subway and the fist fight on the plane in 6 are amazing.
I agree with you, but man, when The Rock comes into their lair in that movie, and he's just like
he runs
loaded
into
to
his
bear.
car.
I mean, he is just like, Toretto, you're mine. I'm gonna fucking wreck you, and then it's just like 2 magnets slamming into each other, and then it's just 2 giant bald men throwing each other through buildings. It's like Iron Man versus someone else, just equally as Iron Man. Just
War Machine.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Iron Man versus other Iron Man.
Yeah,
that is different.
Different colored Iron Man.
Opposite Iron Man.
Right.
It's
here to help.
Man, and I mean, just like the rooftop chase thing is great. The way they filmed that, and I mean, you're however they're filming these actors jumping off roofs to where they are looking like, oh god, I can't believe I'm jumping off this roof. Like the realization of their superpowers. But yeah, it just watching Fast 5 today brought me back to the turnaround that I did on that franchise, sitting in the movie theater with you guys, and just every time The Rock would glare and sweat and flare his nostrils at someone, just you could sense how pissed off he was and just soaked in sweat. It was the most joyous thing I've seen in film in the longest time. It's just like, this is the best thing ever. Anyone who is down on this doesn't love having a good time, period. I don't understand these people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if we're going to make a scientific argument out of this, what are the contenders that could...
Oh, are we sciencing?
Yeah, from 10 years to 20 years. And do we go from the release date or to, like, now? I mean, because Fast 5 came out, what, 09?
11.
11?
11.
Yeah.
I just say the past 20 years. Like,
Period,
go back to
now.
1995 to now.
Okay.
The only other contenders are Matrix and Die Hard with a Vengeance, in my book.
I would
Those
say
are the only other two that I even enter my brain as far as being beginning to end as good as Fast 5 is, as far as a pure action popcorn movie.
Yeah. I mean, if for 10 or 20, I mean, yeah, Matrix, Die Hard with a Vengeance, John Wick, The Raid, and probably
Ong Bak, possibly.
Ong Bak, possibly, but the annoying cousin takes that right out of the equation. But actually, I'd have to say Olympus Has Fallen. Olympus Has Fallen is fucking strong as hell.
It on the same level as
On the
Fast
same
5,
level.
too,
I mean,
because
like, beyond that, I can't, but it still beats those. I mean, I think it might beat all of them.
the assault on the White House in Olympus Has Fallen escalates to such a ridiculous level that you just can't help to go, fuck yes, movies are great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is the best thing ever.
I'm going to need to see that movie.
I mean, I don't know. What else can you have in there? It's like Independence Day and things like, I mean, if we're going 20 years.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
I
things like
really
that.
need to sit down and watch Executive Decision again, because that is a movie that I adore. I think the way the stakes raised in that movie are great, but that's kind of more of a thriller than an action movie. Die Hard with a Vengeance would be a difficult choice for me to make because I do love that movie.
Yeah.
Even
I
though
know there's people who argue, like, I'm not a fan necessarily of, like, Face Off or Con Air. Con Air, especially the way it's edited. I
Oh,
cannot
The Rock
stand.
is... Oh,
Yeah, The Rock. That's close.
Yeah.
The Rock is
The
real
Rock is
close.
in
I
there.
forgot about that.
oh, The Rock is so good.
That's good. It's not Fast 5.
Armageddon's in there, and everyone gets Space Dimension.
No.
No, fuck Armageddon. Even Bad Boys 2 is in there, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So, yeah.
But Bad Boys 2, it's that
It's
second.
it's the last 20, 30 minutes.
Oh,
That's it.
no, hold on.
There's some other
No.
things that happen in that movie, but the last 20, 30 minutes is... The second they're like, we're invading fucking Cuba, and they're like, I'm in.
That is the period on the end of that movie's sentence, because
I don't
that,
care.
That freeway thing of the car carrier is in the first half hour.
Sure, great.
It's fucking amazing.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, Jesus.
It's no safe chase. It's...
No, it's no safe. Nothing is the safe chase.
I know.
Nothing will ever be the safe chase. The reaction you have to that the first time you understand what is happening is just... I can remember BJ laughing his ass off in the theater. Like, your joy was making me love that movie even more.
Yeah.
You were just
I wanted to
gleeful.
stand up
I don't
here.
react a whole lot, like sitting in
No, but
movies.
I was sitting
genius
next
of
to
that
you.
entire scene is that they never say, like, well, we're just going to do this.
the
Yeah.
street.
They're just like, well, we're just going to have to sneak in and do something.
Yeah,
you
plan
know?
B.
You know, and you're like, you see them getting out of the cars, and you're like, oh man, they're going to just break the vault right there and take everything and shove it in the trunk.
Right.
It's like, no, they're going to chain that thing
Yeah.
to these fucking Chargers and go.
Yeah.
And then
And
from
not
that
only
point
do
forward,
that-
and then just
Yeah.
and commit to it for freaking 15 more minutes.
It is a
That would-
pretty long stunt.
That would be like the way that they sort of just slam that at you is if like the Italian Job, they had told you nothing and it had just been like 3 minis rocket out of a out of a tunnel
Yeah,
and they
because
drive
I don't think they ever showed the safe in any of the trailers or anything.
No, they
not
don't.
that I can recall.
No.
We had no idea. None.
Yeah, I didn't know going in. Like, when they start hooking up the cars to it, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, they're going to pull it out. You know,
Yeah.
that's a way to get out of there and load it up on the Rock's fucking monster truck.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I didn't, for a fact, I didn't know because, like, I thought the whole time their plan was they were going to steal the police cars and do the thing around that, the whole thing that they trained to do the entire time.
Yeah.
Because when that scene comes in the movie where they're just like, no, fuck that, we'll do something else. And it was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, wait a minute, you just wasted 45 minutes of screen time on all that. What are you doing? And then they did the vault thing, and I'm like, yep, all right, fine, whatever you guys want to do, I'm on board.
Remembering my reaction to it, I know that I couldn't have known that was
Yeah.
coming.
And to be fair, I mean, there are other things like when I say action movie, I mean pure action for action's sake movie, because I don't want to get in the arguments of like things that have action in them,
Right.
You know, or you know, things that are plot driven. Like, okay, so I love the movie Ronin. I believe that's 97. It's
98.
98.
But yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's fantastic, but like that's a thriller that has some action in it. Mm-hmm. It's, to be fair, it's got some two of the best car chases ever, but
Yeah.
it's not pure. Action does not drive that movie.
Right.
Same thing with like Bourne Identity. That's a spy thriller thing. It just happens to have some badass hand to hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only scene I can think of that even had remotely the same reaction for me as the safe chase is the freeway chase in Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah.
You know, and now when you rewatch it, you see that, oh, wait, there's like no cars on the freeway in some of these scenes.
Yeah.
There's like 5 cars. And then suddenly the next shot is like a densely packed thing.
Right.
But I just remember watching that and just being like, I can't believe they're doing this. Like it was one of those things like, I don't even know how they filmed this.
Mm-hmm.
And the safe chase was the only other thing that felt the same, where it was like, how did you even do this?
Yeah.
Like how did you film that? Just a bank just being wiped out.
Yeah. Because, I mean, even though you can tell at times, okay, the safe is a CG thing, but still, there's shit getting wrecked that's practical. So what are they I mean, are they just dragging cables through these buildings and just having everything just explode? I should probably watch the bonus features on that disc.
Maybe. All right.
Yeah.
We should probably also put this to bed. We've talked. My God, we've talked so much about.
Oh,
Fast and
sure.
Furious
But
movies
it's,
over
you know,
time.
they're important to us.
Yes.
Because
They're important to the fucking world.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
All right. So do you want some emails? We got just a few.
Yeah, we
Sure,
could have a few
why not?
emails.
Yeah.
I've got 'em. All right. First one up is from Joe, who says, commentary track. Says, hey, BMFcast, new fan here. I was wondering, have you guys considered doing commentary tracks for some of your favorite bad movies? I think releasing them as a plain audio tracks and having the listeners sync them up with the film themselves will let you dodge any copyright red tape. Peace and love, 05095.
That is what Riff Tracks does, right?
Yeah.
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 More or less, yeah.
I
think
is
that
it
he-
still a huge pain in the ass to do Riff Tracks?
You could still submit your own.
No, I mean, is it still a huge pain in the ass to
sync 'em or whatever?
to watch them?
They've kind of moved away from the big blockbuster, here's an MP3 file, sync it up yourself. They've kind of gone back to like,
Releasing a DVD or
well, they've gone back to like MST 3K style, like public domain movies, and you just get the movie and the track with it. So they don't do that as much as they did.
Because like, I just had the idea that you could just like play it on your phone these days. You could stream the track directly from your phone, and
Yeah.
you could still have the movie audio
Yeah.
at the same time. But we've talked about it.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. Like, do we do a straight? I mean, I guess we've always kind of approached it with like a how would we do it? Because like we're not trying to note for note joke a movie, but I mean, because I feel like we could fall into like let's actually analyze this shit and do a proper commentary track. I don't see us being able to sustain that for an entire movie.
Yeah.
No,
But-
and like I've watched a couple MST3Ks somewhat recently, and they're obviously like well planned out.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
They watched
early
that
ones
movie
were
they
not-
wrote
dozen times.
They had
No,
teams
no.
of writers.
well,
that
not the
just-
early ones, but
Yeah.
like about season 3 on, they were watching that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
because you
dozen
don't know.
they'd have
you
a
don't
half
know
dozen guys watching it over and over, and everyone just taking the best possible
Yeah.
joke for
Right.
each.
Yeah,
thing.
because you don't like you don't hit jokes that often,
Yeah.
and you also don't like there's stuff that feels set up, or you had to know it was coming to make that joke at the right time, that sort of thing. And I'm far too lazy for that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is also like
and
we're
I-
lucky we get a freaking episode out every week.
Right.
the way our
Sure.
schedules work sometimes, and getting
it'd be an
writing
interesting
it and
test
recording
thing,
it.
you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just to do like Robot Jocks or I Come in Peace or
Well, we're
The
still
ones
waiting to
we've
hear from
talked
Shout
about doing
Factory
it.
on that.
Yeah.
'cause
Seriously, Shout Factory.
it's,
Yeah, because we also want to get paid for doing them.
I want to get paid for something.
yeah.
All right. So moving on.
Okay.
This next one's from Scott from Dallas,
Hi, SFD.
who says, here's some trivia about a movie y'all hated. Says, recently I found myself staying up late at night with nothing to do but play strategy and puzzle games. I discovered that watching old-ass USA up-all-night movies, complete with commercials, was pretty good for bringing back the nostalgia for when I did this exact same thing as a preteen. I went to various corners of the internet and found a lot of late 80s to mid 90s recordings of programming, complete with commercials. Most of the services pushed by these commercials, such as long-distance phone plans and phone sex hotlines, are now extinct. All right.
1-800-COLLECT.
10-10-220.
Hey, stop
Yep.
handing out all this free advertising.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Circuit City. Circuit City.
One of the things I grabbed, however, was a 30-minute preview of the Power Rangers movie, complete with behind-the-scenes footage. It also featured a segment where they interviewed the special effects team, which is the reason I'm writing. Obviously, everyone was smiling for the camera and putting on a good show, but the FX guys were even worse actors than the Rangers. The FX team seemed upset that they weren't doing practical effects. They talked about the computer effects for a bit, and it was matter of fact. Then they talked about the one big practical effects part they did, which was a fight against a skeleton dinosaur in a forest, and everyone lit up talking about it. They mentioned wanting to do more, but the producers not letting them. Not mentioned in the segment, but generally well known, is that the producer for the Power Rangers franchise is a huge penny-pinching shitlord. It's likely that he didn't pay for practical effects because he was told it would be cheaper to shit out untextured garbage. Probably the most amazing thing was that for the special effects, they were given such crappy computers to work with that when they tried to animate the robots fighting at the end, they didn't have enough processing power to make an even slightly decent-looking city for them to brawl in. So, instead of buying better computers, they had to build an actual city set at the same scale that was normally used in the filming of kaiju movies and the original Power Rangers show in Japan. So they built the fucking city set. They had people who really wanted to do practical effects. They had computers too shitty to do CGI with, but they still went and did CGI. They showed footage of a guy holding up a picture of a falcon and walking through the set, and then showed how they erased the dude and turned the picture of a falcon into the shitty-looking falcon robot. This was to emphasize the computer magic going on. Christ, what a shitfest that production was. They even mentioned how they were told to cut down on the fighting and violence and rely more on gadget and gags. Fucking producers. Crash and burn, Scott from Dallas. P.S. Chuck, I know you've got some old-ass VHS tapes. Rip them and put them up there somewhere. I demand more old things to pay half attention to.
Okay. You should send me a direct message on Twitter. Maybe I'll hook you up.
All right.
So, but yeah, that sounds about right for Power Rangers. I know that producer's super cheap. Because, I mean, you know.
Where's my autograph book?
I know that guy was just basically, I mean, all that stuff was reused, you know, assets and footage and everything. Just that's why they were in
Yeah, but
costumes
they were
all the
also
time,
fucking printing money at the time. So
No, I know.
That guy's a
Yeah.
big, giant, steaming dickhole.
And that show is still on. They're in their,
probably
like,
in some
30th
form, yeah.
iteration of
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. It was just supremely disappointing that I had heard this was, like, you know, TV-based kaiju movie, and then all of a sudden it's the worst fucking 90s CG, untextured, blocky bullshit.
Yeah. That's got to be really frustrating to know that they had to do all the most expensive part and then weren't allowed to do the one part that would have made it all work. So,
It's a shame.
all right. Last one is from Steve Like the Bird Heron.
Oh, I know that guy.
He titles this one Siniscrote. And he's sending this because it's April Fool's Day as we're recording today.
All right.
The Day of Liars. Who says, Casters of Banff.
Hello.
Steve Like Bird, Squawk and such. It's April Fool's Day, so I re-listened to those guys that took over your site for a day. I didn't remember much besides it getting very dark at the end. But if it's been a while since any of the listeners out there have listened to it, if at all, I recommend that they do. I think it might be the best episode of the podcast. I say that trepidatiously because it's completely different than every other episode, so it's hard to compare it to the others because it breaks the format. That being said, it's the best crafted. It's definitely the one with the most effort. Thanks, I think. It's the closest to anything being semi-scripted, and the heart that's in it is appreciated by me at least. The amount of time in editing all of those shitty sound clips is very amusing to me. I was jamming out to Tub Thumping, which I will defend that song until the day I die. I'm not going to lie, the episode is very hard to listen to. The jokes fall flat a lot. It's uncomfortable most of the time. But I will say that the joke that works best is during the fake ad for Blockbuster. The queef mentions they sometimes have the movie you want, but most of the time they don't. And Randy says, let me tell you, I settled for Eat, Pray, Love. That joke made me fall out of my chair. But overall, it's an unsettling experience. But I think that's the point. You're uncomfortable with these three Morning Zoo losers, and this is the only thing they have to live for. And as someone who is interested in radio for a career, that breaks my heart because I know there's mostly guys like this out there. Though Steve Like the Bird is a good Morning Zoo name. Mainly, the reason that it works is because all of your commitments to stay in character. It's kind of supposed to be sad, but that's why the ending works. It all pays off when it goes really, really dark. At the end, I was actually really impressed with all of your acting capabilities, especially you, BJ.
Hey, thanks.
I completely bought you as that guy. This guy that at the end of his rope and there's nothing left but complete desperation in your voice. My heart really goes out for that guy. That's why that episode works so well. Even if it's hard to listen to you, your guy's commitment to the characters to their very last moments is complete and unwavering. Also, hi Chuck, how are you? Passion Bird, Steve like the bird out, broadcasted live via the tower of 86.7 WKIL.
Yeah.
You have no idea how long we sat there recording that and laughing at each other
And-
like freaking idiots.
Part of there's a little, I don't want to say method acting because I'm not a murderous morning show host.
That we know of.
Yeah.
That you know of. But I mean, we were recording that for a long, long time, and some of the exasperation is real because it's like, oh God, we just have to finish this thing and get out of here. That's all I know is pain anymore. And some of it is just the, growing up in the world,
Yeah.
aka crushing defeat. That would be Mr. has his phone right next to the, yep.
Yeah.
But thank you.
that
Thank
was
you so
fun.
much. Yeah.
I wasn't present for some of the commercials, so I thought they were pretty damn funny when I finally heard them.
I think this goes back and answers why we haven't done a commentary track, though, because from what it sounds like, the production of that episode took a long time, start to finish.
It did.
Commentary track,
The
we would
commentary
probably...
tracks, I wouldn't have to layer as many layers of bullshit on top.
No,
Yeah.
but we would probably want it to be pretty professional, and we would probably want to put some work into it, and we would just...
Probably.
It would become like a Brian Wilson thing, where it's just like 10 years of adding layers and,
Huh. I'd just be lying in bed like Brian Wilson did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I well, let me touch Cinescrote again.
Okay.
All right.
I listened to it again today, and
As did I. First time
We
since
all-
I did this shit.
yeah, I think it was the first time since we did it for me too. But like for as obnoxious and ridiculous as it is, like I really am. I was ashamed of it for a while because it was so. I mean, because the characters and everything like that happens for like 40 minutes of that, it's just so reprehensible. And I was like, I just don't. I hate everything that is like that. This is making a mockery of. I hate it so much that I don't want to listen to it. But now it's sort of like it's charming in a way, and I'm like,
Totally.
This is
I don't know how anybody made it through that thing.
me either.
Like
because
that's
it's
what
a slog.
amazes me is I'm just like, oh,
Well,
because
then I always get sad because I'm like, man, they didn't make it to the end.
I know. Like I
The end is
and yes, all those jokes were as
just
flat as we could possibly make them.
right.
Yep.
You any joke that actually lands
was edited out.
was edited out.
Because when we actually laughed, I was like, fuck, I can't do that.
Yeah, but there's stuff like everything in it is supposed to be funny, especially the jokes falling flat. Because that's how morning zoo radio shows go, and also any other movie podcasts that aren't us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
there
of
was,
them suck.
Look, I mean,
there was
you
a
know.
bit of fantasy going on with that too.
Well, just a little bit, yeah. Like, okay, so though, fuck it. Full disclosure, I don't give a shit. So like, I used to work in radio, like behind the scenes in like tech. And stuff. So like I knew a lot of these morning zoo people,
Yeah.
and some of them were all right people when they were not on the microphone. But you know, it was just like every time. Some of them were just genuinely like they could not speak to you and not sound fake.
They were on
and
all the
phony.
time.
Yeah, and there was one in particular here in town who's been around for a very, very long time, and God, he's just the cheesiest, sad '80s, ponytail asshole you could ever imagine. And
Is it?
we're not going to name names. It doesn't matter.
Don't
No.
stop.
But the other side of that is not very well veiled joke at another podcast that popped up not too long after we were doing what we were doing, and we're like, we're doing bad movies, and the next thing it's like we're watching fucking Beetlejuice, and it's like, what? I mean, that's like,
Yeah, they were watching like real movies.
Yeah.
like real honest to god films sometimes.
yeah, and so it was just like. And getting lots of people like, oh man, best bad movie podcast this, and it's like, what? Yeah, I don't know. So
There was some
yeah,
bitterness.
there was a lot of bitterness, and this was like it was basically
It's a little bit salty.
It was a little therapeutic for us to go and do all this stupid shit and just kind of make fun of all that. So whatever. Like that's just said. Full disclosure.
So I'll say, if you're going to pick a format, stick with it.
Yeah.
Don't fucking hedge and do RoboCop or some shit.
Right.
Like an asshole.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an asshole.
Because RoboCop's awesome.
Yeah, what the hell?
It's not a bad movie, so
Nope.
don't even try and act like it is.
We always feel embarrassed when we do things that people get upset about, like Buckaroo Banzai or something.
Yeah. But you guys didn't like it, so therefore it qualifies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right, so yeah, it's late.
Yep.
We need to get out of here.
Quick contact information, please.
All right. Go to KILL.com and no,
there will not
just
be
kidding.
anything there.
Don't.
I mean, there might be, but it's not us.
Go to 86.7.k.
No dots.
No, not
Nope.
okay, fine. Then go to BMFcast.com, and there's a rail on the right-hand side featuring many buttons that will take you to our social things. If you would prefer to know directly, email us at bmf@bmfcast.com, or give us a call on the Garfield phone, the BMFcast hotline, 9105-JOCKS-BMF, 910-556-9263.
All right.
All right.
Yep. All right, let's get out of here. I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm Josh,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast out. See you next time.
That's what she queefed.
Hey, easy there, Queeverton.
Yeah, don't go to kill.com. It's some jerk ass site.
You guys got like QR codes like donate money to me because you found this website.
Holy fucking shit, you just killed the queef.
Is it bad to laugh at my own thing?
Yeah, no, that was...
When I did that, I was like, oh my god.
There was some shit that I was we were talking to each other when I think we were like 5 or 10 minutes out of sync
Yeah.
for a while. And I was just laughing at...
my one regret is that I never broke character. Like, I thought it would have been really funny if, like, as he was facing death, the queef was like, please, sir, if I could have conjured, like, some kind of perfect British accent or something, it's like, please, sir, I ask only that you let me live.
what was the...
No, but he got killed because
killed
because he was fumbled with the keys.
Yeah.
If you just held on to the keys,
Yeah,
he would have lived.
probably.
just hadn't been trying to fuck with those keys.
Yeah, it's all about the keys. Anyway,
I hope this message reaches God.
good night.
Oh,
Huh? What?
yeah, my favorite line of mine that made me laugh.
Yes, go on.
Oh, yes.
Well,
just
Well, we're
because-
talking about
here's
ourselves.
best moment of acting.
Are you ready
I
for
did.
this? Is some of my hubris
Inside
and
the
ego.
actor's studio.
Yeah. I just want to make it out of this room so I can kill myself in peace. It's just, I think that
such fucking
perfectly
idiots.
encapsulated.
My
the
favorite was
character.
the bounce back when we were talking about, because that was my other favorite joke about that, is that he obviously watched the original version and we watched the special edition and we never really completely pointed that out, and then we talked about him being blue, and I was like, well, his robot father just chopped his hand off. And you go, well, it's better than your actual father chopping off your childhood.
right.
I remember but I remember originally you were going to act like you had watched Star Trek 5.
Yeah, I tried. I had notes for that. Jesus
but
Christ.
there was no way that would have worked.
Sadly, that lines up really accurately for about 20 minutes of the movie.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Just
But there was no way that one
I was
you
trying.
seem to hate it in some fashion.
No, I'm just not as connected to it as
Yeah.
you guys
Okay.
are, so I can't.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
sit in
I
that
can't
room
enjoy
for
the
hours.
stories.
Yeah. That was my joke. That was going to be my joke.
Bullshit.
I watched Star Trek 5 and not realizing that they were talking about a different movie.
But then we realized that the episode was already going to be a goddamn mess.
And that's the last time I watched Star Trek 5. And it will be the last time I watch Star Trek 5, if I can help it in my life. That's terrible.
Call him a jerk.
Water pool.
All right.
And I don't mean like swim in the water. I mean they're playing billiards on a fucking water table for no goddamn reason.
Who knows?
Uh-oh.
Shatter.
Good night, everybody.
All right, good night.
He's getting out of here before